Good morning, everybody. I'm looking for a particular polka song. So if you hear the music like changing, that's me. There it is. Well, we'll get started a little bit early. I was planning on starting closer to 9:30, but I figure we might as well just launch into things straight away. And we got a lot of stuff to cover today in the live stream. And I'll start by checking out the live chat and welcoming whoever is here. And then we'll move forward with this Swedish engineered made Designer One. Never shown this machine on the channel before, so it'll be kind of fun for you to be able to check it out. And I've got to remember to put a little bit of lotion on my fingers. This has a touch screen control center, and if your fingers are dry like mine get from handling all the machines and everything and washing my hands and washing my hands and washing my hands again and again and again, the first time I sat down to this machine, I tried to get the screen to do what I wanted it to do, and it wouldn't acknowledge my finger. And so I thought it's probably that it's dry. So I put a little bit of lotion on, and then all of a sudden the screen responded to my touch. It's a touch screen style. So yeah, if anyone else has one of these, or if someone acquires one of these, don't assume that there's a board fault. It might be that your fingers are dry. So give me just a second here. And I hope everyone that was a part of it the last time we came together enjoyed seeing Carol's machine, Beatrice, the Montgomery Ward treadle machine, do its thing, and also enjoyed getting to know Carol a little bit as well. Carol was a little bit nervous, but she relaxed pretty quick. And she's at an age, and this is what she says, not me saying it. She's at an age where she doesn't care too much what people think. I think that's the beauty of getting older, isn't it? We don't worry as much about what people think about us. And Mark Twain had a great quote along those lines. He said, "We wouldn't worry so much about what other people thought of us if we realized how seldom they did." Mark Twain always had a way of drilling home a lot of great truths when it comes to living life, didn't he? Just a lot of great truths as far as living life. And this is this is an unusual day to do a live stream on a Thursday. I can't think of the last time we did a live stream on a Thursday. So if our attendance is down, I won't be surprised. But I know that a lot of folks afterwards, as they come home from work and as they have schedule changes through the day, they'll certainly check out this live stream so they can gain a new appreciation for a Swedish beauty with a different look and a different design and a different feature, but still made in that great country of Sweden. And unlike some of the machines, contemporary machines we've had on the workbench, where they have branding on the front of it, and it'll say something like, Swiss design, Swiss engineering, or something like that. This machine was genuinely built in Sweden. I think we had an Elna that was made somewhere else. I don't recall where it was made, but on the front of it, to try to convince people, same quality, same engineering, nothing's changed. Right on the front of that Elna we had a while back, and it was a similar long arm quilting type machine like this. It had on the front of it Swiss, what was it? Swiss engineering, Swiss design, I think is what it said. So we will get started shortly. I'll just say good morning to everybody real quick, and then we'll kind of launch into things. Okay. Let's see here. So good morning to Susie from Minnesota. And Susie was the first in the live stream today. So in her honor, I will ring the bell Susie's a go-getter, just like Emma and a lot of the other leaders. They are on pins and needles waiting to get that notification that we've gone live because they love coming together with the family. They love joining the live streams, being a resource, laying out that welcome mat so that people feel like they can relax and get to know us and we can get to know them. So I usually say it at the end, but I'll say it at the beginning. Thank you so much to the leaders that make these live streams so much richer and so much more purposeful, and make people feel so welcome. They truly do. So I see Emma and Susie in the live stream right now, and I'll thank them personally right now for all that they do to help out the family. Also, good morning to Alex, aka Al Koss, and we're going to be opening Alex's package today that was sent by Wawak out of Nevada. That'll be fun to see what's in there. And let's see who else we have. Good morning to Aaron Allen as well from the great state of, gosh, I hope I get it right, Aaron, from the great state of Vermont. I hope I got that right. Yeah, Aaron is from Vermont. I'm 99.4% sure, unless she moved. And good morning to Kevin Orr as well. Great to have Kevin here this morning. Yeah, I think that's everybody so far. Again, I would not be surprised in the least if our numbers are down today. And we don't do live streams for numbers anyway, but it's great when we have a big family gathering, isn't it? When we have lots of folks in the live stream, and today being an odd day to do it, Thursday, because yesterday, the computer that I'll point the camera at, this computer right over here, I came down yesterday morning like I usually do, and I went to turn the computer on. And as I shared with the leadership team behind the scenes, I went to try to turn it on, and nothing at all. The only thing that lit up on the computer anywhere was the cap lock key. And I thought, oh my gosh, this computer is not that old with it. And I remember years and years and years and years ago when I used to work in corporate America. Some of you may not even know that I worked in corporate America, but many years ago when I worked in corporate America, at one point I worked with PepsiCo that make Pepsi products. And I got to be good friends with one of the technology people. And this guy always was doing different things with his computers that would kind of work them really hard, and they would get super warm. And he talked about taking his computers and he would put them into his refrigerator to cool them down. And by super cooling them down to about, 40, 30, 35, 36 degrees, whatever the temperature of the average refrigerator is, by somehow doing that, taking that computer that had gotten too warm and shut down. Because the one thing I did notice when I came to the computer yesterday to try to do the live stream we had talked about doing is the bottom of the computer felt kind of warm. And I always put it in sleep mode at night. So there's nothing really running on it per se, other than maybe programs behind the scenes, but it was noticeably warm on the bottom. So I thought about my friend from PepsiCo. And so I put the laptop in the refrigerator, went off and got coffee, ran a couple of other errands, came back, ran some air through it in case any moisture condensation built up inside of it from being in the refrigerator. And then I tried plugging it in again. And initially it didn't respond, and then it fired up straight away. So I don't know if that'll work for anyone else, or if it was a combination of good fortune and workshop magic, but we are running off of that laptop right now. And I did pick up another laptop with a thought of this one will not come back to life at all. I picked up a Lenovo, which I've heard from people. I've never owned a Lenovo laptop before, but I've heard really good things from people that own them. So I've got that in reserve if this one gives up the ghost permanently. But who knows? Maybe it was just an odd glitch or something. I have no idea whatsoever. No idea. So let's hope that things continue to run well, and we don't have any issues during the live stream today. All right. Oh, good morning to Susan Coulter as well. Good morning to Susan. So this machine that we're going to look at today, again, was built in Sweden. It was built in Sweden. I don't know, and some of you might be able to tell me. Oh, there's another EMMMI. I have this machine since 2005, still going strong. Love it. And I was just about to ask that question. If anyone wants to do some quick research on the fly, and Aaron Allen wrote, "Yep, Vermont." So I actually got it right this time. Thank God. Um, and I'm very fond of Erin. She knows that, and she actually has gotten a couple of machines to the workshop that I've been able to work on for her. But I deal with so many people, and you'll have to forgive me if I sometimes get that brain lock on where you're from, or maybe even your first name. I might just go with the screen name so I don't mess it up. But yeah, if anyone wants to do some quick research on the Designer One that Husqvarna Viking came out with, and it looks like this if you want to look on the screen to make sure you're looking at the correct one. It's got this really cool touch screen, and we'll be looking at a number of the stitches that it can do today, and I'll let you pick them, assuming that we can see them on the screen, hopefully. But if anyone wants to research, can get any information about this machine and tell us, when did it come out, or any other particulars, that would be super cool. Because I've been so busy jumping around to workbenches, I didn't do a lot of research on this machine. I did not do a lot of research on it at all. So maybe even our friend that has one of these EMMMI wants to share maybe when they got the same machine since 2005. Maybe it came out earlier. I'm not sure on this model. It's got a beautiful book, though. This is the book that the owner left with me so that I could kind of check it out and go through it a little bit. And I say it all the time, I am not going to be able to do justice to the depth of someone that has owned one of these for a number of years and has been able to spend a lot of time getting acquainted with the machine, all of the technology built into this to this machine. But I'm going to do my best to try to walk you through it today, present some of the features, give you an opportunity by way of the live stream to interact with the machine by picking out different stitches. The stitch groups are broken out in different groups, everything from heirloom to children's type stitches, and the list goes on and on and on and on. But it really is, it's such a great deal of fun when we talk about Swedish beauties on this channel so much, to be able to show one like this that it doesn't look like the Swedish beauty that we're accustomed to seeing, but it was built in that great country of Sweden. And it's always fun to show a machine that still has that origin. You know what I mean? It still has that origin, and it has that root of being from that origin country. And I'm kind of glancing at the live chat, and I want to echo what Emma just did, and wish congratulations to Suzanne Coulter. And I actually reached out to Suzanne yesterday, and I told her, I said, I didn't want to keep you waiting. So I already mailed off Suzanne's Guggen. I kept saying Gutenheim, but that's wrong. It's Guggenheim. I mailed off Suzanne's Guggenheim professional tailoring shears yesterday, and I think they're due to arrive. I told her when they're due to arrive. You can ask Suzanne when they're scheduled to arrive. I sent her a picture of the shipping slip from the United States Postal Office, and it's either Friday or Monday. Suzanne, can you remind me when are they? I've got your slip, but can you remind us when are your Guggenheim scissors supposed to arrive for you? Yeah, let me know. Let me know. Yeah, and I see our friend EMMMI, and maybe if that individual wants to share a simpler name, so I don't have to keep saying EMMI or something like that. Give us your first name if you're comfortable doing that. Since you own this very same machine, that would be cool. And the one thing I'll comment about is I was looking through this detailed manual, and this manual is 118 pages long. 118 pages long, and it covers all the bells and whistles on the machine and all the technology rich features of this machine as well, which is automatic tension control. When you initiate or when you want to initiate a stitch on this machine, you go to something called, let me see what it's called here. I'm looking on the screen. Called the sewing adjuster or something like that. You go to the sewing adjuster and you tell the machine what type of sewing material you're going to be using and what style of sewing you're going to be doing as well. And makes specific assumptions about adjusting tension automatically, adjusting presser foot pressure automatically, and there is an opportunity you can go into the settings and you can override what the computer has already set you up to do. But the computer is really, really kind of an autopilot type computer sewing machine where they built the technology in it to try to make it as as easy as possible for that owner by just entering basic information in so. And I think our friend can probably speak to that a little bit more since they also own the same machine. But we shouldn't be surprised by that. The Swedish designing and the Swedish engineering generally is always ahead of the other makers when it comes to technology features. You know, if you think about our vintage green machines, our Swedish beauties that we see on this channel all the time, you know, they've got that auto clutch disengagement, they've got the slow gear, they've got the jam-free raceway, and those are all features that came out of Sweden very, very, very early on because they were very progressive about wanting to engineer their machines with just top quality features that would make it easier for the sewist. And they've kind of continued that. They've continued that with this machine that obviously is from a much later time frame by having those features of auto tension adjustment and auto presser foot pressure, and certainly a lot of other features as well. I could show you inside of the first page of this book when they describe the lay of the land on this machine. I mean, you feel like you're in the cockpit. You feel like you're in the cockpit of a 747, but they do label the buttons very, very nicely. They do a great job of labeling the buttons. So once you spend a lot of time with this machine, or maybe even a little bit of time, you get a lot more comfortable with the bells and whistles, and you get comfortable with interacting with the machine. But you can see 39, 2 columns of special features, even including a sensor foot lift as well. And again, I'm not going to delve into all of these bells and whistles in great depth, but I will show you the basics so you can gain an appreciation for what this machine is capable of doing, and also embrace the fact that it was the same country of the Swedish beauties that we have such a respect and admiration for. So it goes all the way back. It's tied all the way back to those roots of that drilling and grinding musket barrel plant decreed by a king that started all the way back in the 1600s. And then eventually they produced their first sewing machine. As most of you know, that Swedish Husqvarna factory produced their first sewing machine right around 1872. I highlighted that when we just looked at that Montgomery Ward treadle machine, because I shared with you all that Montgomery Ward also introduced their first sewing machine in 1872. So there was a lot happening on all fronts in that particular year. But it really is a smooth running and quite a fabulous sewing machine. I think you'll enjoy watching the machine sew, listening to the machine sew, and also, most importantly, helping me to choose some of the stitches that we're going to be laying down with this machine today. And in the settings for this machine, it is capable of sewing through leather. And I'm wondering if our friend EMMMI, and again, I'm hoping that they'll eventually give us a first name so I can stop saying EMMMI. But if they don't, I'm just going to keep doing it. And they'll get so annoyed. Eventually they'll say, my name is blah, blah, blah. And then they'll let the cat out of the bag. And if they already did that, then I might have missed it. But at any rate, I don't think they did yet. So, but I just lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? I was about to say something. No idea. No idea. I had a thought I was going to share it. Boom, it's gone. But yeah, it's kind of cool that Husqvarna rolled out their first machine. It was called the Northern Star in 1872. And Montgomery Ward did as well. Yeah, sewing on leather. Thank you, Susie. So this machine, when you go into the settings and you go into that initial setup of the sewing advisor, it's called the sewing advisor. And you tell it, okay, this is the type of sewing material I'm going to be sewing on. This is the style of sewing that I'm going to be doing. Then all of a sudden it will set all of these defaults automatically for you. So it's just nice to know that this machine is capable of sewing leather, because that is one of the settings on it. But we're not going to be sewing leather today, because the feedback I've gotten from some people is that, and they don't mind it. It's not like a negative. It's not like a bad thing, but they're like, wow, we sew a lot of leather on this channel, don't we? And the answer is yes. We sew a lot of leather on this channel. And it's because leather is something that a lot of people during the pandemic started based business. Leather work is sought after. And if you're fairly skilled in being able to sew different things with leather, it was a way to bridge the gap during the pandemic and have a home-based business that would generate money for your family or for yourself. And so I demonstrate a lot of leather sewing on this channel. And I even demonstrated quite a bit of leather sewing on that Montgomery Ward treadle machine that we just saw. And we had some person visiting us. I think it was New Joy or New something. And they were a little bit critical of my leather that I got from Emma from Naples, Florida area. And I issued a challenge back to them saying, I'll tell you what, you contact me, I'll mail you this leather that you're saying is a lower grade leather, and you're saying that it's easy to sew through it. And you can get a similar treadle machine, and you can turn it with your finger just like I did on Carol machine. And if you shoot a video of it, I'll post it on Facebook. Well, that was 2 days ago. And so far, all I'm hearing is crickets. So far, and this has happened before, where people will be a little bit critical of something we're doing on the channel, and I'll issue a challenge, and then they disappear. So, and I'm not trying to puff up and be cocky or anything like that, but I'm saying I think that we do things right on this channel. I think when we present sewing machines, I think that we take them through legitimate tests that demonstrate the stitch quality and demonstrate the strength of that machine, even when it's being driven by my finger. The strength of that machine, because that machine is turning over easily. I can turn it with my finger because it's been restored. It's been given greatness back again. So that's a testimony to the quality of that machine, and maybe also to the push-ups I do with my finger. But the fact of the matter is, I think that we take the machines through a sewing Olympics. I think that we take them through a rigorous type sewing Olympics. And when we step away from that machine, we have the confidence that it can sew practically anything and lay down gorgeous stitching. So whenever I get someone that steps into our midst and kind of casts a little bit of doubt or a bit negative, Susie and I from Minnesota chatted via text yesterday a little bit, and she said, Scott, I've never seen someone like that step into our midst and be so negative about what you're doing when you're demonstrating some really positive things about that machine. And but it's the nature, isn't it? It's the nature of what we do. This channel has a lot of visibility. I've shared with you before through the analytics. This channel, our channel reaches over 126 countries, gets over 100,000 views every month, unique views from people around the world, and tens of thousands of viewing hours of videos. So when we have that much visibility, you're going to get people, some of them are competitors, that will stand in our midst and will try to drag us down and try to, be critical of what we're doing. Whatever, that's fine. But if they want to demonstrate a genuine interest in what we're doing, then they can accept my challenge and send me that video, and I will honor their effort in doing that by posting it on Facebook. Yeah, I will. I truly will. I truly, truly will. Oh, okay. Suzanne is going to get those professional tailoring scissors. It looks like on Saturday. On Saturday. So, and like I said, I'll be giving more of those away. I'll be giving more of those away. So keep watch for that. I think that people like me, I like to get things for free when I can. And that's part of the reason we do that. We take care of our family. We do special little things like that, like giving away scissors, giving away mugs like these. And I'd like the leaders that are present today, the leaders that are present today, if you would be so kind as to tell folks what they need to do, because I would like to give this mug away today. It reads, "This mug belongs to a sewing addict. Warning, conversation liable to include sewing." So I want to give this away today. I've offered to give it away a couple times. I also would like to give this one away as well. This says, "Good things come to those who sow." And it's printed obviously on both sides. Both of these mugs are printed on both sides. So whether you drink tea, coffee, or schnapps in the morning, I hope you don't drink schnapps in the morning, but if you do, these mugs are up for fair game. So between Susie and Emma, I don't think we have any other leaders in the live stream today. Between Susie from Minnesota and Emma from Florida, if those ladies will come up with some sort of a contest, a mini giveaway contest, what do our family members that are present need to do? And if they do it, I'll be happy to mail one of these mugs away to them. Both of them away is what I meant to say. I'll be happy to mail these off, and then they can enjoy these sewing mugs, because all they're doing is collecting dust in the workshop. They're just collecting dust. All right. Give me 1 second. I've got to step away real quick. Y'all chat amongst yourselves, get acquainted with each other. I've got a real quick pop upstairs and check on something. I'll be right back, and then go ahead and we'll go ahead and start to move towards this machine. We got a number of other things we're going to do as well. So just bear with me for a second, please. Okay, sorry about that. I just had a machine arrive from Pennsylvania. I just had a machine arrive from Pennsylvania and it required a signature. So I had to pop up there real quick and sign for that sewing machine. Most machines, because people know that Oconto is a smaller community, they will send the machines and they don't require a signature. They'll put them on the front step of the workshop. And then once I hear Hank barking, I'll go ahead and retrieve that sewing machine and bring it in. But this particular one, it required a signature. And it kind of depends sometimes on how they're sending the machine as well, doesn't it? Okay, a little bit of also, if the leaders want to come up with some sort of a giveaway opportunity, I'll also give away. I've got I've got 3 packs of Schmetz double eye needles, and if anyone wants to try to win some double eye needles by Schmetz, the latest option that is kind of an alternative to twin needle or dual needle type sewing, then the leaders that are present can come up with some sort of a contest to give away some of these double eye needles as well. So we're giving away mugs, the 2 mugs that I showed you, and we're giving away double eye needles today. And it's up to Susie and Emma. If we have any other leaders show up, they can put their heads together in a sense and decide what they want to ask folks to do. And if you do it, I'll be happy to mail these off to you, just like we just mailed off a set of those really cool tailoring shears by Guggenheim to Suzanne, and I guess they're arriving on Saturday. Suzanne, you're going to love those scissors. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing scissors. I love them. Okay, a little bit, I was going to cover something real quick here. If you were part of that live stream where we looked at Carol's Montgomery Ward treadle machine, and I did a number of sew-offs. That was about 2 days ago, I guess. Along with it, I opened a big box of wonderful, wonderful homemade bakery and hand-dipped chocolate pretzels and everything else. And I'm not much of a cook in the kitchen. I'm not really home on the range. My jokes are pretty lame today. I'm not home on the range. I'm not much of a gifted cook or a chef in the kitchen. So I looked at these, and initially I was just blanking on even what to call them. And thank goodness Carol was here. And Carol, the owner of that Montgomery Ward, belonged to her mom, Beatrice. Bernice. I'm blanking. Whatever it was. It belonged to Carol's mom, that Montgomery Ward. She said they're muffins. And then I got a note from Candido's wife, Rachel, and she wanted to clarify something. So I'm going to share with you what she wrote about these, what I called muffins. And she gave me more details on them. Let me just pull this up real quick, because I promised her that I would, because they had gone through so much effort to make all these wonderful things. I wanted to get it right. All right, I'm almost there. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. So Candido's, I assume it's Candido's wife. I didn't ask. It's a family member of Candido. I think it's his wife, Rachel. Pretty sure. And she wrote me a note after she watched that live stream of me opening it up and pulling all the goodies out. She wrote back to me and she said the following. Let me see if I can find it. I just had it. What did I do with it? All right. So my phone is running kind of slow today. Technology issues, technology. Okay, so here's what she writes. She writes, Scott, this is Rachel speaking right now. I just wanted to make sure that you are aware that the items that you are calling muffins, the items that you are calling muffins, they're not muffins. They are actually Ghirardelli. Am I saying that right? Is that how you say it? Ghirardelli, or is it Ghirardelli? Any rate, those of you that are chocolatiers, probably know how to say the name better than I do, but she writes, they are Ghirardelli chocolate pistachio walnuts, macadamia nuts, pumpkin seeds, cashews mixed all together with a scoop full of Mars. There's more below that. With a scoop full of Mars, where is it? Marshmallow, with a scoop full of marshmallow fluff covered with more Ghirardelli, I think it's Ghirardelli, dark chocolate, yum, 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 and enjoy it all. Thank you, Rachel. So that's what Rachel wrote. Yeah, so if any of you are really smart on chocolate stuff, you can let me know, or you can call me or whatever and say, kind of like Christine did when I was trying to say that little town out in Nevada or somewhere, and I was getting it totally wrong. And she called me from Canada and said, "This is how you say the name of that city, Scott." So I think it's Ghirardelli. I think it's Ghirardelli, but if it's not, I want to thank Rachel and Candido again from Warwick, New York, for putting together so many thoughtful, yummy treats that I have already begun to share locally. I've learned not to try to mail chocolate to any of my leaders that are based in hotter climates because it doesn't travel well. It doesn't travel well. But thank you again to Rachel and Candido for such a thoughtful gift. Such a thoughtful gift. All right, where am I? Almost there. Okay, all right, we're ready to move forward. So anyway, I wanted to do that little follow-up because there was so much detail that Rachel and her family put into these special treats. She wanted me to understand the depth of what was going on with it, So that's really cool. All right, all right. So let's real quick before we jump into this machine, let's open Alex's Wawak package as well before I forget to do that. All right, so we got this package over here. Oh, one other thing. I apologize. One other thing. I did not read this either during the live stream a couple days ago when we presented that Montgomery Ward machine that belongs to Carol and came from her mom. And I'll read Candido's note real quick as well, because I just want to give you a personal perspective on what a beautiful family we have at Cow Country. What a beautiful family we have at Cow Country. Oh, thank you. Emma wrote, I think Rachel was the sister to Candido. Might be the sister to Candido then. Okay, cool. At any rate, I'll play it safe and just say family member. You know what I mean? Family member. That way I won't get it wrong. That way I don't get it wrong, hopefully. Okay, so Candido writes, and Candido again is from Warwick, New York. Hello, Scott. We hope you enjoy these chocolate-covered Oreos and pretzel treats that are made that are made in our country kitchen by my bride. Oh no, here it says, Emma, Rachel is actually Candido's wife, because he writes here that are made in our country kitchen by my bride, Rachel. It is a special recipe made with Ghirardelli dark chocolate. Please know we send them with warm regards from your friends in Warwick, New York. Blessings always, Candido and Rachel Rivera. So Rachel is Candido's wife. But I know that he also had his family visiting. That's why we had to open that box a couple of days ago. on Tuesday, I guess it was. We had to open it on Tuesday because his family was visiting, his sisters and his brother, I believe, and they wanted to see the unboxing of the goodies that Rachel, Candido's wife, had made in their country kitchen. So, but doesn't this just speak to me at least, this speaks to the caliber and the quality of the people that gather together at live streams like this, even on weird days like a Thursday. We've got a weird day of coming together on a Thursday today, but because of how committed we are to the cow country family, to each other, and to vintage sewing machines, we gather together even when it might not be absolutely convenient. We make that sacrifice, don't we? So we can come together as a family. Very, very cool. So I've caught up on that now with my friend Candido and his wife, Rachel, and I can set this to the side. I saw a text come in from Susie from Minnesota. I think somebody won something. Hold on a second. Let me double check, see what's going on. Okay, so Susie has just sent me a text and she said, Alex Alcos won a mug. So Alex Alcos won a mug, and I'm going to hold up the two mugs because my leadership team would tell me if we gave away two mugs. It sounds like we gave away one mug so far, and it was given away to Alex Alcos. So I'm going to hold both mugs up and give Alex the first choice of which mug he wants to get. Okay, hold on a second. Almost there. I'm so close. All right. So we've got these two mugs. We've got Sewing Addict, and we've got Good Things Come to Those Who Sew. And again, they're printed on both sides. They're suitable for whatever. I mean, if you want to put hot chocolate in them, if you want to put coffee in them, if you want to put tea in them, it's totally up to you. So Alex Alcos, if you want to type in the live chat which one you want, just like Susie just said, you choose, Alex. It's yours. Okay, Good Things Come to Those Who Sew. So this one is going to get mailed off to Alex, aka Alcos. And then we have one more mug, and I'll leave it up to the leaders. I'll leave it up to the leadership team. If they want to reserve this one for another live stream, we're going to be live streaming again on Saturday. If they want to reserve this one for a live stream on Saturday, then we'll hold the Sewing Addict one until then. If they want to give it away during this live stream, that's up to them. The Susie and Emma, any other leaders show up, you guys are in charge. You can decide, hold it until Saturday or give it away, and then we'll give away both mugs. But this one I'll end up sending off to Alex. And I love these little stars. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but these cool little stars all over the graphic as well are just really quite spectacular, I think. I think you can see that. Yeah, it's a cool mug. All right, so this one is not available anymore. This one now belongs to Alex. Let me set it off to the side, and I'll let the leaders decide if we'll keep this until Saturday. Okay, Susie has already voiced. Susie said, give the other mug away on Saturday. So this one will be given away on Saturday then. And again, if the leaders want to do it, it's up to you all. I'll leave it up to Susie and Emma. If you want to give away any of these double eye needles today, let the folks know what they need to do. And we'll give away a couple of these. I've only got 3 to give away. But if anyone wants to get a package of these double eye needles, again, I will ship them anywhere in the world. So if we have somebody with us right now that's from Ireland, I'll mail them to Ireland. If you're from Australia, I'll mail them to Australia. If you're from Canada, like Christine from Canada, I'll mail them to Canada. If you're from New York, like Candido and his wife Rachel, I'll mail them to New York. So I'll leave that up to leaders. Otherwise, we can hold on to these until we give them away on Saturday. It's up to you all. Oh, that's a great question, Susie. Great question. Okay, so let's open Alex's package now. So this package came directly from Wawak, and Wawak apparently, and I didn't know this. I did not know. I did not know that Wawak apparently has been in business for over 100 years. They are a centennial business. And guess what? I say sometimes a teacher, always a student. Sometimes a teacher, always a student. I never heard of him before until Alex and his wife, who are starting up a sewing type business. Alex made me smart. Alex said, "Hey, we use these people for all kinds of sewing related things. I'm going to mail you some fun stuff by way of Wawak." All of a sudden, Wawak was in my vocabulary. So I guess they started out right around 1907. So if anyone else in the live stream or watching this as a video later had never heard of Wawak before, it'll make me feel better because I'm thinking I need to get out more because I had never ever heard of this company before. So let's see what came from Wawak. Some of you, if you want to ask Alex, what kind of business are he and his wife starting? Alex and his wife are starting a business, and they are using Wawak quite a bit for the supplies that they need. For a lot of the supplies they need, let's find out from Alex maybe, and what kind of business are he and his wife starting out? Because I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, so here is, first of all, a Wawak sewing source book. A Wawak sewing source book. And I'll tell you one thing, it almost reminds me of the Sears catalog. It's that thick. Almost 140 pages. 140 pages. 140 pages of everything under the sun. I mean, anything that you might need for a sewing business, you got it here. And the fact that Alex and his wife are using these folks is enough of an endorsement to me that Wawak is a good company. Not to mention they've been around for over 100 years. That says a lot about how well they do business, how they take care of their customers, right? Oh, and it looks like, okay, Alex just answered the question. They're going to be making clothes for preemies, premature babies. What a great business. What a great business to develop, because premature babies are obviously much smaller than what the standard over-the-counter type clothes would be, and they have to be fitted to those little ones. Some of them are born at maybe a pound or less. And Alex and his wife are going to be making clothes specifically for little ones. Black Friday last year. So Emma's heard of these people. Emma's heard of Wawak before. Very cool. So anyway, yeah, check out Wawak if you have an opportunity. I assume that they have a website. Yeah, wawak.com. And Wawak is Wawak. So check out wawak.com and let them know that Alex sent you. They're probably not going to care because they probably have tens of thousands of customers, but you can just mess around with them. If you call these folks, say, Alex sent me. Alex sent me. And see what they say. They might say, oh, yeah, we love Alex and his wife. They're going to be, did you know that Alex and his wife are going to be starting a clothing line specifically for premature babies? That's what they'll say at Wawak. And we'll be like, yeah, we knew that because Alex is in our family. And we were talking about it during a live stream. Silly. We know what we're about, son. We know what we're about. Yeah, we do. So here's a special magazine, which is really cool. Now let's see what other goodies they sent. What other goodies did they send? All kinds of goodies. Jiminy crickets. Oh, wow. Personal note. Personal note from the folks at Wawak that have been around since 1907. Thank you from all of us at Wawak. So they seem to have kind of a family-based business too, don't they? It's from all of them. It's not from a CEO or some other big shot at the company. It's from all the employees of Wawak by way of Alex and his wife sending us some special goodies. And let's see what those goodies are. Let's see what those goodies are. First of all, we saw the catalog already, which is way cool. And then we have some, I think these are thread snips. These are thread snips of some sort. They also have a little tweezer built into them as well. Oh no, the thread snips are separate. I'm sorry. Reverse that. These are a real fine little layer of tweezers. And then there's also a magnify glass as well. So if you're going after something and it's really, really small, you can grab it with the tweezers and you can see it with the magnify glass. And then when you don't need it anymore, you just collapse it back together again. So if you don't have one of these, guess where you can get them? If you don't have one of these tweezer magnify glass combo thingies, you can reach out to Wawak. Tell them that Alex and his wife sent you, and you can get a pair of these yourself. And I think they're probably like around $5. I think they're around $5 a piece. So they're not ridiculously priced. And I am so fortunate that Alex and his wife, in order to to show love and to show appreciation for what I do, they sent this stuff to me complimentary. So I've got 2 pairs of these magnify glass tweezer combos. And if Alex and his wife give me permission, maybe these are some other things that I can give away. I can keep some for myself, but then I can pay it forward by giving some of this stuff away. If that's okay with you, Alex, some of the goodies you gave me, that you and your wife gave me, I'll end up giving some of them away in your name, if that's okay. Because these are way cool. Like Alex kidded about. I get metal slivers in my fingers all the time. And if I'm going after one of those puppies, I can use the magnifier and get a hold of that metal sliver and pluck it out. So that's really cool. Let's put those away. So Alex said it's okay. So not at this live stream, but at the next live stream, I might give one of these tweezer magnify glass thingies away. So keep watch for that. And it's compliments of Alex and his wife that are starting that special clothing line for preemies. I don't know if they're planning on going on the Shark Tank and talking to Mr. Wonderful about funding their idea, or if they're going to self-fund themselves. But yeah, maybe we can keep watch on that and see if they pop up on Shark Tank or something like that. Wouldn't that be fun? Also, some of these clips as well. I've talked about, and Alex and his wife have been listening. I've talked about my clips, these right here. And they're getting so doggone dull. I'll have to cut like on a thread like multiple times. And then finally it'll cut. It's like I'm trying to cut a cable tie or something like that with them. It just doesn't cut through. So they've sent me 3 pairs of these like this. 3 pairs of these clips that are wonderful. When you get done stitching a line of stitches, you can cut that thread very, very easily. and I've got 3 of these, and I'm guessing that I have permission to give 1 or 2 of these away as well. So watch for this in the future. The leaders are going to be able to give away some of those magnifiers with the little, the little, I showed them to you just a second ago, wherever they went. They're somewhere. Tweezers, there they are. We're going to be giving away some of these magnifiers with the tweezers. We'll give away some of these really cool clips that I use to cut threads. Compliments of Alex and his wife. And again, if Alex wants to share, if Alex hasn't done so already, if they have a website up and running, if they have Lori from QVC, that would be brilliant. But if Alex or his wife have a website, would you do me a favor? Or another way that we could contact to find out more about the preemie clothing line that you're developing? Another way of contacting you or your wife? Type that into the live chat right now so that we can have it in there as a permanent record. Type in your business name, type in your website, or another way that folks can contact you. Because again, we're going to have hundreds of people watching this by the time it goes into a video later today. So by all means, please promote yourself in this live stream right now. Tell us how we can contact you. If you have a website, blah, 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 email, whatever you want to type into the live chat, please put that in there. And that way we can spread the word about this clothing line that you and your wife are developing. And they also sent me needles as well. This is a quick threading needle. It's a quick threading needle. I've got 3 of these. I've never heard of these before. And they're by Schmetz, that all of you know. I think all of you know Schmetz follows what we're doing on Facebook and follows what we're doing on YouTube as well. So we've got the big shots at Schmetz following the Call Country family. So these are called quick threading. No, they're called Nadel quick threading needles. Has anyone else ever heard of these before? They're new to me. But apparently they're a very easy way to thread this needle. And I've got 3 packs of these. So this is another thing that the leadership team might be able to give away at a future live stream. If I present it, they can give it away. So if anyone knows anything about these quick threading needles, like I said, sometimes a teacher, always a student. I'm a student. I don't know anything about these needles. But apparently Wawak does, because they're available through Wawak as a quick threading needle option, which is, why not save time, right? We don't have to do the little, I think I got it going in, though I'm not sure if I do or not. And so what a wonderful gift from Alex and his wife. Very cool. Very, very cool. Quick threading needles, and they're a size 80-12. So watch for these potentially coming up at a future live stream. We'll give these away in Alex's name. And we can do that. That would be cool. So thank you again to Alex and his family, to Alex and his wife, for sharing all of these goodies with me so generously. And then I can pay it forward and pass them along to other Cow Country family members. Yeah. The leadership team is already busy enough. Now they're going to be even busier at future live streams, giving away some of these other items. So that's really cool. So thank you again to Alex. Thank you again to his wife as well. They're starting this business for preemie babies. And thank you as well to Candido and his wife Rachel for the very generous goodies that are going to require that I do more exercising, and the others that I share it with do more exercising so that I don't gain weight. I want to stay a lean, mean fighting machine. Sent you a lean, mean fighting machine. Okay. Well, let's finally now, I don't even know how long we've been running. We've been running a little bit over an hour, and I want to get into this machine now. Again, this is a Husqvarna Viking Designer 1. I'll tell you a little bit about the owner. The owner is Jeannine out of Lena, Wisconsin. Jeannine out of Lena, Wisconsin. And Jeannine brought not only, I better take a deep breath so I don't stumble over my words too much. Jeannine not only brought this really cool contemporary Swedish made Designer 1, and a number of people, I posted this on Facebook, they jumped on it right away and they said, I've got the same machine. I've got the same machine. And we just had our friend that jumped into the live stream said, I've got the same machine. And no complaints about it. They all love it. They all love it. They all love this machine. But Jeannine from Lena, Wisconsin, and Lena is spelled Lena. If anyone wants to Google anything and share something interesting about this little town of Lena, Wisconsin, that Jeannine is from, she also brought another sewing machine as well. She brought a Singer 6212C, 6212C, and that's that machine I already live streamed. I already presented it, and we learned that that machine was a cooperative effort between France, Brazil, and the United States. So if you ever thought, what's the big deal about, the semi-vintage sewing machines that Singer made in the 1970s and 80s, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is this other machine that Jeannine brought, the Singer 6212C, was a collaborative effort between 3 different countries. Now, how many sewing machines can you say 3 countries came together to make that machine possible? France, Brazil, and the United States of America. So if you somehow missed that live stream on Jeannine's other machine that she brought to the workshop, you'll want to check it out because it's really cool. It's got a body made in the US. It's got or I should say designed in the US. It's got a body made from Brazil, and then it has a motor and a foot controller that were made in France. So, don't go poo-poo to a quasi-vintage machine. Check out that live stream and check out Jeannine's other machine that she brought, the 6212C. And one of our friends, it may have been Alex, shared what the C stands for. It stands for a city in France where that factory for Singer would have been set up. And if Alex wants to share that info again, and then I went up, I always like to say we switch roles all the time, don't we? Sometimes I'm a teacher, sometimes I'm a student, sometimes I go from being a student going back to being a teacher again. And when Alex had reached out and shared those particulars on the manufacturing plant in France that starts with a C, I then did a little bit more digging and sent more information back to Alex and said, if you want to share this in the next live stream, it would be awesome. It would be awesome. So if Alex decides that wants to go back and look at that info that I ended up sharing back with Alex again, go ahead and do that. Share it in the live chat, cut and paste it or whatever. All right, blah 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 blah. I am the blah blah master. Okay. And it looks like Alex and his wife are starting a business in California. But again, if they want to share any particulars on how folks can, we might have folks in this live stream that have a newborn that's a preemie, how we can contact Alex and his wife, that would be super cool. That would be super, super cool. All right, let me get a drink of water real quick, because I've been blah, blah, blahing for over an hour already. Oh, that hits the spot. If anyone's done a lot of public speaking or presenting in your professional career or through church or through other places, whatever, a bottle of water when you're doing that sort of thing is your best friend. It's even better for me than those Diet Cokes that I'll sometimes drink during the live streams. Okay, so let's take a look at this machine. Does anyone know, including the person that was in the live stream and said, I have one of these machines, does anyone know what size motor this Designer 1 has? Does anyone know what size motor this Designer 1 has? Or does anyone want to guess what size motor this designer one has. Any guess? Any guess at all? Let's show you this machine again from the front. I'm hoping our camera will be able to pick up this screen. I might have to move this. I might have to move this closer to the edge. Let me do that real quick. See if I can move this closer to the edge. And it does have a convenient handle right here that I can grab readily to move this closer to the edge to see if we can get a good camera shot of the stitches that are available. I'm hoping the camera will focus on this. I'm hoping. Yeah, you can see the stitches. It's getting a little bit of a waver. It's getting a little bit of a waver across the screen. But I think you'll be able to, yeah, you'll be able to see the stitches. You'll be able to see the stitches well enough. Because I want to involve you in picking stitches that we sew today. I don't want to be the one that picks the stitches. I want you all will go to these different groups that it has, and then you can pick the stitch that you want this machine to sew. And it looks like Susie from Minnesota said 1.4 amp. It's actually smaller than that. It's actually smaller than 1.4 amps. But that's a great guess. That's a really, really good guess. You can also open this up. And I'm kind of surprised a little bit, but I understand why, because it's a touch screen. But on a lot of the machines, they will display all of the stitches across the inside of this hood here. This little hood opens up, and you can pick your stitch by a number up here. But because it's a touch screen, all we have up here is we can see our thread. We can see our bobbin winder as well, which was broken when it came into the workshop, and now it's repaired again. But this is a little bit more plain Jane than a lot of the machines. And a little bit about the threading real quick. Emma is saying, what about 0.7 amps? If Emma or Susie, I'll say Emma because Emma was a little bit closer. If Emma would add 1/10 of an amp to that, add 1/10 of an amp to your guess, Emma, and then type that amperage into the live chat. That's the size motor that this designer one has. This designer one. So threading on this machine real quick, I'll just show you real quick while we're this close. We've got our thread right here. Make sure you have the thread so that it's coming off the top, and it's going to feed from, I believe it's right to left. Yeah, right to left. And then make sure you have a spool retainer on here, because the edges of spools like this, will have rough edges that the thread can catch on. So what you want to do is you want to put a spool retainer on here that's larger than the spool. So as that thread is coming off, it's going to hit that smooth edge of the retainer and go nicely through the machine. It doesn't get caught on one of these rough edges that these spools of thread can have. And looking at this spool, you can see we're going to be using the dual duty XP thread, all-purpose thread. And like Susie said, it's one of my favorite threads. It's not real expensive. Joann's sells this, particularly over the weekend. That you can buy 3, you get 2 for free. And so I use this thread a lot in live streams, a lot. So I'm using it on this machine as well. We come off the top, and then we go over the top of this little guide right here, and we slide the thread behind it and then straight down into that little notch. And then we come around here, across the bottom, kind of bring that thread around here. I'll kind of just show you the track. They even give us little arrows. Then we come down this right of the 2 grooves, not the left one. We come down the right one, down across the bottom through the tensioner, back up here through the take-up arm. After we come up through the take-up arm, we come straight back down again over this little thread guide right here. You kind of see it right there. I think you can see it. It's a little thread guide right there. And then we got a threading point right here above the needle that we have to come through as well, right here. And then we are going to thread this from front to back. And the needle that I have in this machine today is going to be none other than a Schmetz stick natal embroidery needle. And it's a size 7511. It's a size 7511. This is actually the needle pack right here. And these needles came from Susie in Minnesota around Christmas time. She sent me just a ton of needles, kind of like Alex and his wife just sent me these cool, easy threading needles. And these stick natal embroidery needles came from Susie in Minnesota. And they come in different sizes. They have a 7511. They have a size 9014 as well. But the one I have in the machine today is actually a 7511. See if I can get that closer to the camera. And don't be fooled by there being an empty slot for the 9014. I used that in another live stream. That's why it's missing. But I pulled the needle I'm using from another pack today. Yeah, these are great needles, great needles. And I figured since we're going to be doing more decorative ornamental type stitching, why not, right? Also, easy access to the drop-in bobbin. You just pull this little plate back right here. You can see the bobbin. Which way do you think this bobbin is going to turn? Which way do you think this bobbin will turn when I pull that thread a little bit? Do you think it'll go clockwise? Or do you think it'll go counterclockwise? Get really, really close here. Oh, and I didn't say it, but you guys are so smart. I probably didn't need to say it. When you insert the needle on this Designer One, make sure that the flat side is to the rear, which tells you as this machine is running with its rotary hook system that hook is going to be passing along the back of this this embroidery needle and catching that thread right near the scarf area to complete the sewing process. Remember, again, the scarf is going to be on the same side as the flat side of the needle, the same side. So, yeah, exactly right, Emma. This machine, this Designer One, is going to have a 0.8 amp motor, and Emma's saying clockwise. So let me give the thread just a little bit of a pull, and let's watch that bobbin, see which way it turns. And it's a little bit hard to see in the shot because of the LED light kind of casting down, but it's actually turning counterclockwise. So when you set up your Designer One for sewing, you'll want to make sure you drop this bobbin in so that when it's turning in the sewing process, it's going to be turning counterclockwise. And the manual will show you that as well. The manual will show that to you, but you'll know to double check it by making sure that that bobbin is turning like this in the sewing process. And I've already shown you the basic threading of it. I'm not going to go over all of these buttons because they're in the manual, but it has a lot of quick, easy buttons that you can access on this machine. Everything from needle up to a stop and start button, kind of like one of those other machines, speed control, reverse. Our reverse is right there. And actually, I'll correct myself. The stop button is to stop entirely. And then there's also a fix button. And then down here, you have a start and stop button right here, similar to that other contemporary machine we had in the workshop that did not have a foot controller with it. Remember, the owner had a foot controller originally, but then the dog chewed it up. So then they were relying strictly on the start and stop function. This has a similar feature to that. And then over here, we've got a presser foot down button. We've got a pivot type button here and also a needle up button as well. The pivot means it's going to slightly raise that presser foot, but not all the way, so that if you need to reposition that material, you can do it without raising that presser foot all the way up. So it'll maintain some pressure on that material, but it'll allow you to pivot that material a little bit. And then finally, we have a quick cutter here that basically will cut the thread automatically and will then allow you to move on to the sewing process a little bit quicker. The only thing I don't like about the quick cut on here is it cuts that bobbin thread as well, so that when you look down by the throat plate, there's no bobbin thread. But as soon as you start sewing, it automatically pulls that bobbin thread back up again. But it makes me a little bit nervous. I'm kind of old school. I like to see that bobbin thread. And so I don't use this button very often. I tried it a couple of times, but I don't use it. It's not my go-to button. Yeah. So now over on this screen, this is the first screen that pops up when you're sewing this with this Designer One. And hopefully you can see some of that. Maybe what I'll do is, let me see if this helps. Yeah, no, it's the nature of the screen. The screen is kind of goofing around with the camera being able to see it. But you got a number of different choices here across the top. You've got a menu choice right there. Normal is where you'll be when you're doing this. If you're going to be programming, there's a programming button right there, a repeat button, a setting button. The setting button again is depending on what you choose under the sewing advisor. When you tell that sewing advisor what type of material you're going to be sewing, I'll actually do it right now. So this is our sewing advisor. If I push that, it's going to come up with a screen like this right here. It'll give us a choice to choose the type of material. Are we going to be sewing with a woven light material, woven medium, woven heavy, stretch type material that's light, stretch type material that's medium, stretch type material that's heavy? Are we going to be sewing with leather? Hopefully you can kind of see the leather there. And or we're going to be sewing with a vinyl. Vinyl is our last choice down here. In most cases, the average sewist using a machine like this is generally going to be in the woven light type material setting for fabric. So I'm going to choose that. And I'm going to confirm that is what I wanted. So I've chosen that one now. And now it's asking about sewing technique. And I'm not real well versed on sewing technique. Maybe our friend that owns this machine can talk a little bit more about the sewing technique options that this machine offers. But it's going to be everything from overcast to seam overcast to basting, blind hem, embroidery, buttonhole, and the list goes on and on and on and on. I'm not going to choose anything, and I'm just going to let it go automatically with the seam type sewing that would be most common for the average sewist using this type of machine. I'm going to say okay. And then finally, I'm going to go back to the main menu again. Now it's offering us different needle positions: left needle position, right needle position, center needle position. I'm going to go with a center needle position. Is that a better angle? That might be a better angle right there. That might be a better angle. I'm going to go with center needle position. All right, now I'm going to go back to menu again. And now we've got choices of what we want to sew. We can start with a straight stitch, which is under A right there. Let's go look at the camera, see if I'm getting even a remotely clear shot. There we go. Kind of see it. Kind of sort of can see it. So I'm going to choose A. And now it's asking us, do we want to do a straight stitch or a zigzag or one of the other utility type stitches? We've got a variety of different options. I'm going to start with a basic straight stitch right there. And then I'm going to also change the settings on it because I want you to see how huge of a straight stitch this Designer One will do. It's going to give us about a 2.5 as a default. I want to go a lot bigger than that. So I'm going to touch settings up here, or set. And then it gives me a chance to manually adjust the length of the stitch. So actually the default, it looks like it's starting with a 4.0, but I can go a lot bigger than that. I can go a lot bigger than that. I'm going to get closer now so you can see it. So you can see as a default, it's giving me a 4.0, but I'm going to bump it up higher. Good Lord. It's going up even higher than I remember. That's amazing. Oh, you know why? You know why? I think I just goofed up. I did just goof up. I just totally goofed up. And this shows again my that I'm not as familiar with this as I should be. What I just goofed around with is actually the tension, which is not a good thing. So I'm going to cancel this once I go out of here so it doesn't save it, hopefully. This is the tension adjustment. This is the presser foot adjustment. So it's showing you what we started with, and I'll go back to that. And this is again where sometimes a teacher, always a student. All right. So by default, based on the choices we had made, it went with an upper tension of 4.0. You can see that hopefully on the screen. It went with a tension of 4.0, and it went with a presser foot pressure of 6.0. We can override either one of those, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave the tension at 4.0. I'm going to leave the presser foot pressure at 6.0, which is what the computer machine chose for us. Okay, now I'm going to go back. Let me actually go back. I'm going to go back to menu again. Okay, go to this. Now what I want to do, because I had gone to set, which was the wrong thing. What I wanted to do is go to adjust down here on the bottom. I believe that's how I did it off camera. Let me see. See, there's our adjust right down there on the bottom. Let me get really, really close. I know it's hard to see because the screen is messing around with the camera right now. All right. So I'm going to push adjust. I think that's the one that I want to go to. Yes, it is. Now I'm in the right screen. I hit the adjust button. Now, instead of messing around with the tension or messing around with the presser foot pressure, now I can change the length of the stitch, whether I do a zigzag or a straight stitch. But you can see our straight stitch right now starts at 2.0. I want to bump it up a lot higher so you can appreciate how big of a straight stitch this designer one will do. So it just beeped at me. It beeped at me and says 6.0 is the biggest or longest straight stitch that you can do. Let's do a straight stitch of 6.0 so you can look at these stitches and go, are you kidding me? They're huge. They're absolutely enormous. So I'm going to go back now. Actually, I don't have to. I can leave it right on this screen. And we'll go ahead and do our first stitch with a straight stitch, and you can see how big of a straight stitch this machine will do. Angle that camera down a little bit. Okay, now if I want my presser foot down, because there is no presser foot lever on this Designer One, I'm in the habit of reaching around back and there's nothing to get a hold of. You've got to use this button right here in order to drop that presser foot to secure the material. So I'm going to go ahead and push that. And now our presser foot is down by pushing that button. Okay, so let me angle the camera back down. And now we're going to sew the largest straight stitch that this Designer One will do. It's 6.0 as far as the settings on the machine, 6.0. All right, here we go. And what it does initially, like another one of the contemporary machines that we had before on the workbench, is it will sew in place for a moment to lock off that stitch, and then it'll launch into the stitch. It does that every single time. So if you see it kind of sewing in place for a second, that's by design. That's how the machine is designed to lock off that stitch before it goes into the actual stitch pattern. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. And I'm old fashioned, so I'm going to tell it, press your foot up, and I want to cut the thread manually. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'll cut it with Alex's clips. One of Alex's clips. Let me see if I can find that. So I'm going to use one of Alex's clips to cut that thread. But first of all, I have to get that presser foot up. And I'm going to get it up by hitting this button right here. Actually, that was the wrong one. Ha! That was the wrong one. That's the pivot one. There we go. Now it's all the way up. So you have two options here. The pivot one is there, and then you have presser foot up all the way right there. Or if you're new school and not old school, you could hit this one. It'll cut the thread automatically, and the presser foot will then come up appropriately. But I'm old school, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. All right, so let's actually cut the thread old school style. Kind of bring that material out. And we'll use Alex and his wife's clips that they sent us. These right here. Cut that thread. Bring that thread back so we're ready for the next stitch off. Now, I'm not making this up. Look at the size of these stitches that this designer one will do. I'm just blown away by the size of these. Just clip that thread. And I can give you a measurement on these if you're curious how big they are, but they're huge. That's our straight stitch, our largest setting on this designer one. Those are mammoth size. They're huge. They're absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy size. Look at that. I'm going to call those gargantuan. Is that a basting stitch? Is that what it's called, Susie? It's a basting stitch. Whatever it's called, it's the largest straight stitch you can generate with this machine. The largest straight stitch, 6.0, 6.0. Absolutely mammoth size. Mammoth size. Lock stitch, turn it around. And again, the computer chose the default upper tension of 4.0. When I was in the wrong screen, I started goofing around with the upper tension, thinking it was the stitch length. And I was like, oh, no, I'm in the wrong screen. I'm in the wrong screen. So this is a 4.0 automatic setting for the tension adjustment on this Designer One. It's our lock stitch again. Isn't it a beautiful stitch? Again, a Swedish made machine. It's Swedish made. Top stitch, lock stitch. And if you're curious about how many millimeters this stitch is, yeah, and Aaron is agreeing it's a basting stitch. Emma's calling it a basting stitch. Susie's calling it a basting stitch. Yeah, the clips worked beautifully, didn't they? I love these clips. They're sharp and mine are dull. So how big of a stitch is this basting stitch that y'all are calling? Just double checking my measurement. So this basting stitch is right around 7 millimeters. If you're curious, how big of a stitch is this? This basting stitch that the ladies are calling it, I would just call it a mega straight stitch. But if the appropriate term is basting stitch, then it's a huge basting stitch or a huge mega straight stitch of about 7 millimeters. 7 millimeters. So But again, I've never seen this large of a straight stitch on any machine that we've had on this channel. It's huge, isn't it? We probably have had something close, but it's just absolutely mammoth size, isn't it? It's mammoth size. 7 millimeters. Okay, let me get this material back in place and we'll jump into some of the other fun stitches that this machine can do. Yeah, these are razor sharp. Wawak has some awesome clips that Alex and his wife sent to share with me. One of these I'm going to keep. One of these I'm absolutely going to keep. Emma, are you asking how small of a stitch it'll make or how many stitches we're getting in an inch? I think you're saying how many stitches. I bet you it's around probably about 3 stitches per inch. Let me grab my tape measure. We'll do it like that. Yep. We are getting at that highest setting of 6.0 for this basting, or I'm calling it as a layperson, this mega straight stitch. We're getting 3 stitches per inch. 3 stitches per inch to answer Emma's question. 3 stitches per inch. So every inch we're only getting 3 stitches. Most of our machines, even our other Swedish beauties, can only get to about 5 stitches per inch. This Designer 1 is going all the way to 3 stitches per inch as far as the size of those stitches, each one of them being about approximately 7 millimeters. So that is huge. These stitches, you could probably go to the space station. You could go to the space station and see these stitches from space. They're that big. They're that huge. Absolutely mammoth size. I love them. Love those. Emma, what a great question. What a great question, Emma. Thank you for asking about how many stitches per inch, because I just looked at them and go, wow, wow. But now anyone that has a Designer 1 knows that on that highest setting, when you're doing a straight stitch for a basting stitch, you can generate only 3 stitches per inch. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, let's go to something more fun now. I'm going to get my material back in place. I'm going to hit that same button again, this button right here, to secure that material, get that presser foot down. There we go. Now we're going to go back to the screen and I'll try to get real close. Again, the nature of this screen, this LED screen or whatever it is the camera doesn't like it. The camera does not like this screen at all. But we'll jump into some of these stitch categories and see if we can pick something fun. I'll skip the straight stitch and the zigzag, although we could certainly do a zigzag if you want us to. But we'll go into number C, I think. Letter C will be fun. Let's go to letter C. Kind of looking over my shoulder. Yep. Yeah, you can see it. I'm going to hit letter C. And now hitting letter C, we are now into the pictogram stitches. There's all kinds of pictogram stitches that we could potentially try. Lots and lots and lots of them. It looks like around 36 pictogram stitches. Let's come back. If you'll allow me the latitude, let's come back to the pictogram stitches. And you can text me if there's a certain pictogram stitch you want me to try. But before we go to pictogram stitches, let me go back. Yep, I went back. I'm going to go to D. D is right here. Pictogram is C, and then they have D as well. Hopefully you can see that in the shot. Hold on one second. Adjust the camera a little bit here. All right, we're going to go to D right there. And these are going to be heirloom stitches. D, when you hit D from the main menu with the Designer 1 machine, we go into heirloom stitches for D. These are all the heirloom stitches. I'm going to get super close. Matter of fact, I'm going to move this machine even closer. I can move this even closer to the edge. Oh, goodness gravy. You can see how close I am to the edge of the table because of this LED screen. I'm going to try to get even closer so we can look at these hopefully more easily. Yep, there we go. There we go. That's what I needed. So these are all the heirloom stitches that are built into this Designer One that was made in Sweden. We got one row here. What do we have? 3. We got 46 heirloom stitches, y'all. 46 heirloom stitches. Are you kidding me? What? 46 heirloom stitches, starting with this first row right here. And we got a second row, a third row, a fourth row on the bottom there. Look at those stitches. Unbelievable stitches. But there's more. I feel like I'm doing an infomercial right now for Alex and his wife's new business. Not only do you get the best clothing line for preemie babies, not only do you get the best clothing line for preemie babies, but there's more. Call operators. They're waiting right now. They're waiting right now. We've got up to 46 heirloom stitches. So if I hit the second page now, we've got these down on the bottom now. It looks like a ribbon or something like that. Unbelievable. So if anyone in the live stream right now wants a specific number for me to try to sew, let me go back to the first page again. This is the first page right here. I'm going to move this machine even a little bit closer to the edge. Give me a second here. I want you to be able to see these stitches so you can get involved and help pick a stitch. I still am fine. It's safe. It's not going to fall off. So starting on these right here, starting with 1 all the way through, 23. 1 through 23. If there's a particular heirloom stitch that you want me to try to sew with Jeannine's Designer One, type the number into the live chat. And again, I'm not looking at the live chat per se right now. I'm not looking at the live chat, but the leaders will let me know what you're asking for. Bring it to my attention, and then we'll set up the machine to sew that particular heirloom stitch. But right here, we have 1 through 23. I'll kind of scroll down so you can see them, and then you can pick your number. 1 through 23. And the camera's really working hard to try to focus on these. I'm going to get even closer. Hold on a second. Let me recalibrate the camera a little bit. If I get too close, the camera doesn't like it. So I'm going to try to go, I'll go right about from there. Right about from there. Some really ornate ones on the bottom too. I'm going to angle the camera down just a little bit. See if that helps. So if you're having trouble seeing it, it's because of the screen again, the LED screen. But the first row, if you like one of those stitches, it's from 1 to 6. The second row is from 7 to 12. The third row is from 13 to 18. And then the bottom row is from 19 to 23. 19 to 23. All right, and then we got page 2, which is 24. What is it? No. Oh, I see. These are part of them too. I just ignored those. These are kind of boring, but if you want to see these, I can do them 30 through 35, 36 through 41, and then 42 through 46. I'll try to give you a shot of those as well. Okay. I know that's difficult. That's a little bit challenging to see. I'm doing my best. The camera is having obviously challenges with that LED screen, but I'll go back to the main screen. We can launch into some of these heirloom stitches. I'll bring the camera over here now. And you can let me know. I'll look at the live chat. I'll look at the live chat and we'll see what folks are saying. It looks like Susie is giving me the choice. Emma's talking about the tri-motion. So it looks like a number of people are wanting to see number 3. Looks like everyone's wanting to see number 3. So let me pick number 3. Number 3 is going to be this one right here. It looks like a tic-tac-toe one almost, doesn't it? I'm wondering if 3, I didn't know if you wanted 3 or if you wanted 2 or 4. 2 or 4 is going to be a little bit more ornate. A little bit more ornate than 3, but I'll pick 3 to start with. And again, it's going to choose the tension. It's going to choose the presser foot pressure automatically. It's going to choose the stitch length and stitch width automatically. We can override it, but I'm going to go with what the computer says we should do. So I'm just going to click OK, and then we'll try stitching this first stitch other than that huge basting stitch, that huge straight stitch that we did first. All right, let's do this one now. All right, so our first heirloom stitch, hopefully first of many. Hopefully y'all can pick out some other ones too that are interesting to you. Oh, Alex's clips are over there. Clip those, keep those within reach. All right, here we go. And Emma's absolutely right. You can see that tri-motion at work there. And I'm going to stop right there. Again, I'm going to, instead of using the auto thread cutter, which would be that button right there, I'm going to go ahead and hit the presser foot up. Oh, what am I doing? Ha! I'm hitting the presser foot down button. Again, sometimes a student. This is the one that I meant to hit right here. There we go. So presser foot up, presser foot down. If you already have the presser foot down and you hit this one, you're going to get the same response I did, which is nothing. So, all right. Angle the camera back down. and we'll draw that out. Again, I'm kind of old school, like Susie is. I don't use the auto thread cutter. That's just my thing. A lot of people do. Draw that thread back, and we'll take a look at this number 3 stitch that we just did from the heirloom section of built-in stitches for this designer one. It's an heirloom stitch. Lock stitch. Yeah, I think that's a real pretty stitch. Very, very pretty stitch. You ought to feel it with your fingers as far as the overlay of thread with that tri-motion. It's just crazy, the overlay of thread on that. All right, let's move to another stitch. See what we think. Drop that presser foot. Actually hit the correct button that time. Now I'm going to follow Susie's advice and grab another one of those heirloom stitches. I'm going to grab another one of those heirloom stitches. I think in honor of Susie. Oh, wait a second. We have some other requests. 17. 17. Okay, let's do 17. 17 is going to be this one right over here. You can see that in the shot. All right, so I'm going to choose 17. All right, let's give this one a go. Let's give this one a go, see what we think. And again, I'm sewing with a 7511 embroidery needle by Schmetz. 7511 embroidery needle. Stick needle. All right, this time I'm going to hit the correct button. This time I'll hit the correct button. All right, camera down. Draw that material forward. Oh my goodness, what a great pick. I think it was Emma and was it Emma and Susie, or was it just Emma? I don't remember. But whoever picked out that stitch, it is wow. And it really does fit the heirloom theme beautifully. Boy, oh boy. Imagine this on a quilt or on some other finished product. Maybe this stitch would be appropriate to go on one of the products that Alex and his wife are going to make for preemie babies, on a baby outfit. Some sort of a baby outfit, possibly. This is quite impressive. Quite impressive. Look at the needle movement that has to occur along with the feed dogs being manipulated with that tri motion in order to generate a stitch like this. And on this particular designer one, the needle is not just moving left to right. This needle is moving, if you watch it carefully, it's moving left to right, top to bottom, side to side. It's like the Wonkavator in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The needle is moving almost every direction possible. So it's a multi-directional needle movement that's generating this stitch. Multi needle movement along with feed dog manipulation. Lock stitch. Beautiful job. So the machine really is quite intelligent, isn't it? The machine is quite intelligent. All we told it is that we're going to be sewing on a light woven type material, in this case 100% cotton with a stiffener, and it automatically adjusts presser foot pressure. It automatically adjusts upper tension and takes care of all the details for us automatically, and then lays down beautiful stitching like this, stitch number 17. Along with the mega basting stitch. Really, it blows me away the size of that straight stitch. I don't, maybe the rest of you aren't as impressed, but it blows me away. A 7mm straight stitch, only 3 stitches per inch. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. Wow. Absolutely nuts. All right, I think I heard my phone go off. Let me get this back into position. Put that presser foot back down. I think I have a text message I need to acknowledge. Hold on a second. I thought I had a message. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a message from Alex. Alex was just sending a quick text message with address so I can mail that mug to him. And this said, thank you very much for the mug. Much appreciated. And then provides an address in California. And back to Alex and his wife. Thank you for all the goodies from Wawak as well. And I'll have a chance to re-gift some of those items to the rest of our family at Cow Country. So very nice. See what the quality of people in our family just blows me away. The quality and the caliber and the caring of our family members at Cow Country is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. So let's choose another heirloom stitch. I don't know if anyone else saw the numbers, but I'll just I would love to involve all of you, but in the absence of involving all of you, I can pick some other heirloom ones as well. Plus, we have children's stitches as well. That would be really, really great, I'm sure, for the preemie clothing that Alex and his wife are doing. But here again is page 1. I'll do my best to show it to you. Page 1, I think we've already done stitch number 3 and stitch 17, stitch 3 and 17. And if you want to look at these again and maybe pick another stitch, and I'll show you page 2 as well. So again, row number 1 is 1 through 6. Row number 2 is 7 through 12. Row number 3 is 13 through 18. Row number 4 is going to be 19 through 23 on the bottom there. 19 through 23. Tough to see. Tough to see. I get it. This is the next row here. Just kind of show you those all to you at the same time. So here we've got rows, basically rows 30 to 35, 36 to 41. And on the bottom row, we've got 42 to 46. The bottom row right there. Really, really hard to see. And that's not the fault of the camera or the computer. That's just the nature of trying to shoot video with an LED type screen. It's really, really tough, isn't it? So it looks like we have a vote for a 37. 37. Let me see if I can find 37. That's going to be kind of a bow stitch, isn't it? Yep. 37 is the bow. So let's try that one. So this is going to be Emma's stitch, this next one we're going to try to do. All right, let's try this bow stitch now. Those feed dogs are working hard, and so is that needle. So is that needle. My goodness. Excellent feed as well. All I'm doing is barely guiding it. The feed dogs are manipulating and managing the material just beautifully. And I'm going to stop right there. And there is one of the buttons over here is a repeat type button so that it finishes off the pattern more evenly. But I'm not going to bother with that right now. We're just going to sew as best as we're able. What a beautiful stitch. Oh my gosh. Nice and sharp shears. These clippers, these clips. Beautiful, sharp. All right, let's take a look at this pattern that Emma picked. This is going to be a rib, kind of a ribbon style, I guess, or a bow style. Let's take a look at this one. A bow style heirloom stitch. Pull that material down a little bit. There we go. So where can you go and get a Swedish engineered made machine that's able to generate this type of heirloom stitch? The answer is the Husqvarna Viking Designer 1. Again, this is owned by Jeannine out of Lena, Wisconsin. And what a fabulous, fabulous machine this is. Don't you agree? Absolutely gorgeous. Lock stitch. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow. Wow. Amazing stitching. Amazing stitching. Yeah, Susie's right. It's cute. It's also cute. Oh, Emma's saying, are the stitches in the manual? Let me check. Where's the manual? Got the manual around here somewhere. Let's see. Let's see if the stitches are in the manual. That's actually a really good suggestion. Let's see here. I'm seeing the embroidery options are in the manual. Let's keep looking. I'll go to the index. It's probably a lot more efficient to go to the index, and we'll see if they're going to break out the different categories, hopefully. 103 to 110. Let's see if it has it there. So heirloom sewing. They do have some of them. It's really small though. And they only show, here's what they show. Let's see, I don't know if it shows 24 to 46, but this is one of the ones they show right there. Is that easier to see? It's really quite small in the book. It's a square that's probably about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches by 2 inches. There, now it's starting to zoom in a little bit better. Don't know if they have the other ones. Let's see, through 36. That is through 23, so 24. Yeah, and here's the, no, these are utility stitches. That doesn't help us. So that's the heirloom sewing page here. And they're only showing that one picture, it looks like. Yeah. And then they move into utility stitches over there. They have scallop stitches and everything. Scallop stitches. I can show you the scallop stitch as well. See if any of these catch your fancy. Those are scallop stitches. Yeah, there's so many choices. I don't know. Yeah, they don't show any of the pictograms. So the manual does not show all the pictures, but it does have a couple little captures, it looks like, of some of the stitch groups, which great suggestion on Emma's part. Great suggestion in being able to see it a little bit more clearly. There lies the problem when you're dealing with different screens, depending on how they display, right? Depending on how they display, it can create some major issues in trying to film it. You can see it fine when you're looking at it, but when you put a camera to it, it makes it a little bit more difficult. All right, let me get this back into place. Presser foot is down. It looks like Emma wants to see stitch number 23. 23. See if I can choose that one. This is almost going to be like a floral type stitch. We'll take a look at this one next. All right, so I'll do stitch number 23 now. We'll take a look at that one. Again, these are under the heirloom stitches. There's a total of, I believe, 46 possible heirloom stitches that we can do with this designer one. We're obviously not going to do all of them. Not even close. We'll check this out. This is the next one that Emma picked. Stitch number 23. Let's see what we think of this one. This is a really intense stitch. Boy, oh boy, is it hitting it hard. Overlay, 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 overlay. Again, the only direction we gave to the machine was we're sewing on a light woven material, and the machine makes all the other choices for us. Upper tension, presser foot pressure, and the list goes on. That's Swedish engineering. All right, I'm going to stop right there. Great choice. A very cool stitch. Very, very cool. Cool heirloom stitch. Very cool heirloom stitch. I'm just checking our bobbin. It uses a lot of thread. These heirloom stitches are incredibly demanding when it comes to thread use. Incredibly demanding. So you better have a lot of bobbins wound. A lot of bobbins wound if you're going to be stitching a lot of heirloom stitches. Very, very demanding. All right, we'll look at the top stitch first, just making sure I have it orientated correctly. This is our top stitch first with this last stitch that Emma chose, number 23. It's really quite spectacular, isn't it? And again, the machine could not do this, could not do a number of these heirloom stitches if it were not for the multi-directional needle movement and the tri-motion of the feed discs as well. So you're looking at a lot of complexity of the mechanics of the machine and the electronics of the machine to generate these stitches. Get a little bit closer to Emma's stitch. A little bit closer. That's the one we just did on the bottom there. And again, I love the fact that the Swedish like to automate a lot of things. They like to keep it simple. They like to keep it simple and allow the sewist not to have to deal with as many of the details. But again, the reason that this machine allows you to go into the settings to adjust the stitch tension and stitch width, stitch length is because with some stitches, you can get even a better outcome if you take it off of autopilot and you go to manual. And you can look at these stitches, and all in all, the machine has done a brilliant job of executing them. But in a couple of instances, you can see where a little bit of a tweak on the tension may have eliminated just a small little anomaly, like in one of those first stitches we did up here. Right over there, you can see just a little bit of an anomaly right above my finger. And over there, where the thread tension from the bobbin pulling down wasn't quite as tight or as strong as it needed to be. And so we got a little bit of an anomaly. But all in all, the automation on this machine is fabulous. And it really speaks to the Swedish engineering, doesn't it? Let's flip it over and look at the lock stitch now. Beautiful, beautiful stitching. This again is our lock stitching here. And we're using one of Susie from Minnesota's needles. Again, it's a stick needle, embroidery needle. 7511 is the size. And we're using a basic Coates and Clark dual duty all-purpose thread. If we were using an embroidery thread with this embroidery needle, we could get even a better product than we are now. But it's quite spectacular, I think. Quite impressive what this Designer One by Husqvarna Viking is doing with all of these intricate heirloom patterns. This again, we're looking at the lock stitch. Top stitch. So, I mean, we could go all day long and probably go through, we could go through probably a half a dozen bobbins easily, with all of the pattern options just offered under the heirloom, options. So I just put my presser foot down. I'm actually learning these buttons. I'm learning these buttons finally. Presser foot down, pivot, presser foot up, auto cut. See that? I'm impressing you with my knowledge, which is about like that. I'm sure if Jeannine were here, she could definitely help me out quite a bit on a number of the other features of this machine. But that's the beauty again, when you own a machine, just like Jeanette. Jeanette just popped up in the live chat, and Jeanette said, I own one of these. Jeanette could come to the workshop. We could do another live stream with her Designer One, and she would be able to dazzle us with her knowledge and intimacy with the machine. I say it all the time. The owner of a machine is going to have so much of a greater depth of intimacy with that machine than I can demonstrate, even in a 2 to 3 hour live stream. I'm only going to be touching the top of the iceberg, the very tip of it. And the owner of that machine could go so much deeper into what the machine can do, the uniquenesses of it, the features, the functions, the pizzazz of that machine. And that's the beauty, again, of being an owner, isn't it? That's the beauty of being an owner with a machine and being able to show us the pizzazz of that machine. But even with my lower level of knowledge and intimacy with the machine, I can tell you about the guts of the machine. I can tell you how the engineering, the fine tuning, the adjusting. But when it comes to the decorative, the creative output of the machine, that owner is going to be able to do it so much better than I could ever hope to. But so far, we're having some fun, aren't we? So far, we're having some fun with what we've already shown this Designer One can do. Already, we're having a lot of fun, aren't we? And fun is at the baseline of what you should do when you're a sewist. You might not have every tiny little bit of knowledge and experience, but you can still have fun, which is what we're doing in this live stream today. Yeah, fun. I love fun, don't you? I love fun. Fun, fun, fun. Oh, wow. Jeanette is from Sweden. This was made in her country of Sweden. Yeah. Wow. It's great to have you here. Test the Omni stitch. Give me a number, dear. Give me a number and what category it's in. Give me the number and what category it's in, because we have heirloom categories, we have children's category, and the list goes on for this Designer One. All right, let me do this next. Give me 1 second here. Okay, I think I'm done with heirloom. Unless someone else, Jeanette, tell us how to. Yeah, thank you, Susie. Yeah, help us find the Omni stitch. That would be cool. We can do the Omni stitch for our friend from Sweden. In the meantime, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the menu, the main menu. Hit that right there. And I'm going to go to a different category. We were over in category D for heirloom, I believe that was. Heirloom, let me just double check. Yep, D is heirloom. So I'm going to go now to E. Let me see what E is. So E, if I go to E, it's going to be quilting stitches. E is going to be quilting stitches. F is going to be applique stitches. F is going to be applique stitches. So when I talk about any of these categories, if you want me to delve into that category, please let me know that. Let the leadership team know that. We've already explored. We looked at, but we didn't do any of the pictogram stitches. That's category C. Category C, like Charlie. We did a number of the heirloom stitches, which is category D. Category D. Category E again is going to be the quilting stitches. If you're a quilter, if you're a hardcore quilter, you're going to be in category E quite a bit. E like echo. Category F again is applique stitches. Applique stitches. Category G, oh, I love this. Category G is going to be children's stitches. Children's stitches. Oh, we got some fun ones here, you guys. Children's stitches in the applique realm of category G, like gummy worms. Think of the children's category stitch realm as G as in gummy worms. Yeah, lots of stitches there that you might do on children's garments. I'll get really close and try to give you a glimpse of them. Camera is really having a challenge with this. I'll come out a little bit more, see if that helps. There we go. A little bit better, not really. These LED screens are just not camera friendly at all. They're not camera friendly at all. So these are the children's stitches. This is 1 through 6, 7 through 12, 13 through 18, and finally 19 through 24. All children's stitches. And I don't know how well the camera is going to be able to show them to you, but I'll do my best. I'll do my best. And I looked in the book, and I don't think there are any of them, any of the children's pictures displayed. I don't think there's any in the book. Go back and take the stitch. It's a flower. Is it under the pictographs? Is that what Jeanette is talking about? 1 or J? I or J? I or J? Let's see here if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. So on my screen, Jeanette, there's basically A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and then it goes to K, L, M, N. Yeah, there's no, on this one, maybe it's the Swedish version of the machine. I have no idea. I don't have an I or a J option. I have no I or J option. I'm going to do one of the kids stitches because they're really, really tough to see. Let me see if by chance I overlooked it. Let's see if I overlooked it and it's somehow in. this book. See if it's in this book. Children's. Utility garment, embroidery, decorative crafting, quilting, heirloom. Stitch menus, utility, buttonhole stitches. Okay, I found something here that might help us out a little bit. It's not going to be comprehensive, but it's going to give us a little bit more clarity in viewing some of these stitches. Let me show you the picto stitches first and see if this is what Jeanette is looking for. I'll show you the picto stitches and then we'll kind of thumb through as best as we're able. These are the picto ones. Those are the picto stitches. That's the first group of picto stitches. Second group of picto stitches. What else do I have? Heirloom we've already looked at. Here's some of the quilting stitches. Make note of these numbers if you want to see me go after one of these. Wait, Jeanette said she can see it? Jeanette, look at the numbers, dear. Look at the numbers and tell me which number it is or which row it's in. This is going to be row 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be row 1, 2. And then they go numerically 1 through 6, 7 through 12, 13 through 18, I believe it is, 19 through 22. And then down here, we've got, what is it, 24 through 29. And then finally, we have 30 through 33. 30 through 33. So if you see the one you want us to try, just tell us what row it's in and the number. Maybe you can type it into the live chat. This again is the first group. Let's see if I can get closer to that. Second group. All right, I'm going to look at the chat, and then I can show you some of the quilting stitches too in the book. It'll be a little bit easier to see. Let me see the screen. I can see it. Down, no, down. That here, no, not this. I'm not following. One of you leaders, if you can help out Jeanette to zero in one in the, okay. Let me show you the quilting stitches we have. And I'll show you the applique stitches. And this is what's in the book. There certainly is more. These are the quilting stitches. There we go. These are some of the quilting stitches. So if you want to see some of these quilting stitches, make note of the one that you want. I'll go to that category for quilting stitches, and then give me the number that you want to see. Give me the number that you want to see. And then there's also some applique stitches as well. Applique. These are the applique stitches. I think that's applique, isn't it? Yeah, applique stitches. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. I think I figured it out. I think I figured out what Jeanette. I think I figured out what Jeanette is looking for. I'm going through the book. Let me again. I'm going to take you through. I found the omni stitches. I found the omni stitches, Jeanette. So relax. We'll get to that in just a second. Let me first of all show you some of the children's stitches. Let me show you some of the children's stitches. Make note of the number, please, so that we can involve you in choosing that. And then I'm going to get to the omni stitches that our friend from Sweden is desperately looking for. And I just need the number. I just need the number. Here are some of the children's stitches. Children's stitches. And then again, I'm going to show you those omni stitches shortly. And I just need a number from Jeanette in Sweden. These are the children's ones. And this is not all. I don't think this is all of them. It might be. But if you see a children's stitch you want to see me sew, pick out the number and just type in the live chat, children's stitch and the number, please. Children's stitch and the number. Okay. Now we're finally, God bless Jeanette. God bless Jeanette for her patience and certainly, you know, maybe there's a little bit of a cultural or a language barrier as well. Not a problem. Here are the it's called the omnimotion stitches. Omnimotion stitches. This is what our friend from Sweden, I think, was looking for. This is going to require crazy, crazy needle movement. Crazy needle movement. And I'll do one or two of these omnimotion ones, but I want to jump to some of the other categories as well. So Jeanette, if you can pick out one or maximum two, maybe what I'll do is I'll sew partial column or something like that, and we'll take a look at it. But give me your number one choice. Give me your number one choice in the omni motion stitch category, and I'll stitch that for our dear friend from Sweden. Okay, I think I held it there long enough. So let me see what someone said. Number 9. Is it number 9? Are we doing number 9? Number 9. Okay. So I'm going to do number 9 now for our friend Jeanette from Sweden. Take the K from the many or something like that. Okay, I've got a multi-purpose foot on. I hope that that will work. It should work. It looks like foot S is what they're recommending. Foot S is the one that they're suggesting. I don't know that I can do the biggest because I've got only so much room on my material, Jeanette. But let me see what I can come up with for you. So you're voting for 9 and 36, and there is no 36 that I'm seeing. But let me go to Omni Motion stitches and see what I can come up with. Okay. G. That's scallop. Okay, yeah, I do see that there are two options. I see that now. So 9 and 36. We'll do 9 first. We're going to do 9, and this is under the category of, it's under the letter K, as Jeanette said. Now I understand what she meant by the K. It's under the category or the group of K, and then it's going to be stitch number 9 and stitch number 36. Let me see if I can pull this off. 9 and 36. 9 and 36. I'm not going to show you the screen because the screen is just atrocious to try to see on the video camera. All right, so I'm going to do 9 first, and then we'll do 36 after that. 9 and 36 for our friend from Sweden. So first of all, number 9. Number 9. See that we don't give up if we're trying to understand each other, because we have a beautiful, beautiful international audience. We have a beautiful international audience. If we're trying to understand each other, we just work through it. We'll figure it out. All right, so number 9 first. Let's do this. Good Lord, this is going to be huge. She wasn't kidding. I might need more material. Good Lord. This is crazy. Yeah, that's taking up the equivalent of like 3 columns. 3 columns. There's so many other stitches we could do, but I think we'll see how long this takes. We may end up wrapping up this live stream with our stitches for Jeanette in Sweden, because these are very, very detailed, very intricate. Maybe we won't sew all the way down. I'll do like I'll finish 2 of these. I'll finish 2 of these, and then we can see, because it's gonna repeat and repeat and repeat going across. That's kind of what it's doing right now. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna do a presser foot up, and we'll look at 2 examples of this pattern that Jeanette from Sweden wanted to see. This is going to be stitch number 9, again under the omnigram stitches. Omnigram stitches. Again, we could do this all the way down, but I don't want to run out of bobbin thread yet. But you can see the size of these. They're quite lovely, quite lovely. See if I can get this here. And I think she wanted to see 36 as well. We'll try to do 36 also. Clip my threads. So imagine this pattern repeating. You can again go into the adjust submenu. You can go into the adjust submenu, change the stitch lengths, change the stitch width, and you could get a different look for this omni stitch that Jeanette wanted to see. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to try to show this to you. I'm going to show it to you like this, but there's different angles we can look at. This is the stitch that our friend Jeanette from Sweden wanted to see. Stitch number 9. Stitch number 9. Let me get a little bit closer to it. And again, it's going to be a stitch that you could do all the way down. It's going to be repeating and repeating and repeating. But this is the base stitch number 9 that Jeanette wanted to see. Kind of cool. I kind of like, yeah. Lock stitch. It is big, isn't it? It's huge. All right, let's do 36 now. 36 for Jeanette from Sweden. I hope I have enough room, depending on how big they are. I hope I have enough room. I might have to go to another piece of material. Try to get that into position. I'll do a brand new column. Let's do a brand new column. I could have tried to tuck it right down here. I could have tried to tuck it right down here, but I don't know how big the pattern is. So instead of trying to squish it right in there, I'll put it in a brand new column up here, and we'll see how far it extends over. I do have more material cut if we run out of space, but really quite phenomenal. Don't you agree? Really quite phenomenal. All right, let's do number 36 now for Jeanette. There we go. Kind of see that. All right, so now I'm going after 36. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, this is going to be stitch number 36 under, again, it's going to be under letter K for the stitch category column, and it's going to be an omnigram stitch, number 36. I better look real quick at, well, and the cool thing, Bill out of Minnesota writes, I thought my 1914 Kenmore was the cat's meow with the cams. This is all computer generated, obviously, so it's got some mechanical functions. I can attest to that, having gone through the machine, but a lot of it's going to be computer generated, right? So it really is quite amazing with the combination of mechanical and computer what we can do with machines, isn't it? Quite amazing. All right, let me look real quick and see if there's any messages I need to acknowledge. I've got one that looks like it came via text. Okay, that's just it's a friend that I communicate with from Australia saying good day. Good day. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening to our friend in Australia. No idea what time it is in Australia right now, but they just sent me a quick text message. Okay. All right, let's do this 36 now for our dear friend Jeanette from the beautiful country of Sweden. This is where the machine was made, for goodness sakes. So it's really a privilege and an honor to have someone from Sweden joining us today, kind of steer us a little bit and say, hey, try this one, see what you think. So let's see what we think of stitch 36. Stitch 36, here we go. Oh, you know what? It's going to sew into our other beautiful stitch. So I've got to stop real quick. I didn't know how far it was going to swing. I didn't know how far it was going to swing left, but it's swinging left, and it's going to go over our stitch number 9. So I've got to stop it real quick. I've got to stop it and say, I've got to adjust this material. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Some of these I did off camera. I did some of these off camera as I was testing the machine after I got done servicing it. I'm going to real quick disrupt our flow because I don't want it to ruin our stitch 9 that we've already done. Don't ruin our stitch 9. So we're going to give it more of a playground, a bigger playground for this next stitch. Hold on a second. A bigger playground we need. So let me set this to the side. We'll give it a bigger playground. I don't know how this burgundy would show up on camera. Let me look at this real quick. Then we'll have a real big playground. How does that show up? That shows up fine on camera. You can see that, right? Let's go with the burgundy. It's kind of a burgundy color, and see if this gives our pattern enough playroom. I'm going to kind of offset it too, because I don't know how far it's going to swing. I have no idea. I'm going to really offset it. Okay. I'm going to set it up like this and see if this gives us enough playground laterally and horizontally for this next pattern that we're going to sew. Because over here, we were running out of space. It was starting to move left, and it was going to go right over the top of pattern 9. We don't want that. We want to leave this alone. So let's see. Hopefully our playground is big enough now. I hope. Change it. All right. So this is stitch 36. That's the other one that Jeanette wanted to hold lightly. So yeah. So great tip. Jeanette is saying kind of guide it a little bit. Hold it lightly. I wonder if I should almost, hold on a second. Another thought here. I think this is enough space. I hope this is enough space. Jeanette, does this look like I'm giving it enough space? You've sewn this pattern before. It sews by itself, but I wonder if I've got enough of a border. Let me move it almost to the center. Hold on a second. Let me move it almost to the center, kind of offset it right about there. We're going to give it a lot of playroom. I hope this is enough. I'm going to set it up right in the middle, and we'll see what it does with this pattern. Okay, here we go. Take 2 of the pictogram stitch number 36 that Jeanette wanted to see from Sweden. All right, let's give this a go. Here we go. We're going to give it a lot of playground, Just grab that thread real quick. Make sure that thread's not getting in there. Hold on a second. Let me cut that thread. That thread's bugging me. And I'm going to try to angle the camera so you can watch it laying this stitch down. And as Jeanette said, I'm just going to guide it a little bit. I'm just going to guide it. And you can see it's repeating itself now. So I'm going to stop it in a little bit. I just hit the stop button, so hopefully that stops it at the end of this pattern run. And we'll get a nice finished line on there. I'm hoping. So what I did is I hit this stop button right there. Hopefully you could see that. Hit that stop button right there. And let's see what we generated with Jeanette's stitch. It's really quite a lovely stitch. I was so nervous about having a big enough playground because I didn't stitch, obviously, every single stitch on this machine. I tested the operation and the function of the machine off camera before the live stream started. I didn't sew this one. Didn't sew it. So we'll see what we think of it. And we have more playroom around it, don't we? So this is our number 36 omnigram stitch. Number 36 omnigram stitch. Let's look at that lock stitch. Turn it around, look at that lock stitch. Again, our tension is being auto adjusted right now. Our tension is being auto adjusted. If I was going to be sewing this stitch all day long, I would go ahead and make a slight adjustment with that tension. I think it's doing a job. It's doing a very, very good job. Really appreciate I really appreciate the input of uh of our friend from Sweden, because I would never have specifically looked for these stitches that were recommended. And I'm kind of glad we went to this burgundy material, because the burgundy really makes that thread pop, doesn't it? Quite nicely. Now we need to pick something else. I'm kind of curious about these omni stitches now. Really, let me show you the options again, and maybe someone else can pick an omni stitch. See what my options are. Good gravy. We got crafting stitches. I'll tell you what. Let's do two more stitches. Two more stitches, because we've been running 2 hours, 2 hours and 54 minutes, if you can believe it. 2 hours and 54 minutes. I want to do two or three more stitches. I'm going to show you some of these categories. I'm going to show you the omnimotion stitches. And our friend Jeannette already picked out two of them for us, number 9 and number 36, I believe. Some of these aren't even showing, they're not even showing up in the book. They're not even showing that there's too many stitches to show all of them in the book. There's too many stitches to show all of them in the book. So I'll show you the omnimotion stitches that are in the book. I'm going to show you the decorative stitches that are in the book. I'm going to show you the crafting stitches that are in the book. And then we'll try to settle on a couple more stitches to do. Good gravy. We got fashion stitches as well. Fashion stitches. The fashion ones are just as cool. Just as cool. But here's our omni ones. Let me show you these to you first. This is the category that Jeannette from Sweden wanted us to check out. So we'll look at these again, and just don't pick a 9 or a 36. Oops, hold on. These are some of the other omni stitches that there are. Again, I think we did 9 and 36, unless I lost track. We did 9 and 36 in this category. So if there's another number that jumps off the page at you, we'll sew it on that burgundy material, and we should have enough space, hopefully. Now let me show you another category. I'm going to make note of what. Now, Emma, type that again, dear. Type that again, Emma, and Emma, and put Omni 16, so I remember which category it's from. Omni 16, please. Now we're going to look at the decorative stitches, and this is not all of them. This is some of them. This is some of them. These are some of the decorative stitches. If one of the numbers really jumps out at you, type down decorative, like an abbreviation for decorative and the number. An abbreviation for decorative and the number. And we'll try that one. I want you to have the input. I want you to pick. Thank God. Thank you, God, we don't have to look at that crazy screen, that LED screen through the camera. All of you are going to need an eye test after this if I keep showing you that screen. It's easy to read. It's really easy to read it, but that camera doesn't know what to do with it. That camera doesn't know what to do with it. So these are the decorative options. And we'll pick one stitch from this category, possibly. And then last but not least, these are some of the crafting stitches, crafting. I really wanted to do one from the children's category as well. Again, if you're putting a number in the live chat, please put down the category that it's in as well, because I'll lose track showing you multiple categories. So Jeanette, would you tell me what category the number 16 is in, dear? And what category the 11 is in? Is it a crafting one or what? Put down the category if you would. We looked at omnimotion, we looked at decorative, and we looked at crafting stitches. So just put down what category it's in if you would, please. I really feel like I want to do a children's stitch too. I really do. These are the children's stitches again. The children's stitches. So if you see a children's stitch that you really want to see this machine sew, put down an abbreviation for children or child or something like that, and then put down the number. Child number, whatever number it is. Okay. So if the leaders could 16 is the leaves largest. Is that Jeanette? Is that okay? We're gonna do a child 9. Is Jeanette? Is 16 and 11? Is that in the category of omnimotion stitches, or was it in the decorative? I'm not sure which one you're looking at, dear. I'm not sure which one you're looking at. Let me do Emma's child. Leaders, if you can help Jeanette zero in on which category it's in. Leave 16. Leave 16. I think crafting, maybe 16 is under crafting. Maybe that's under crafting. Can do a face. Can do a face. I'm not going to do any combos, Jeanette, during this live stream. I know that you can program the machine to do combos of stitches, but I'm not going to do any during the live stream. We just don't have the time. I apologize. But maybe we'll do Emma's child's number 9, and then maybe we can zero in on which category you're looking for as far as stitch 11 and stitch 16. Emma's saying Omni 16. Let me look at Omni 16 first. Omni 16. Okay, I'm looking at it now. Omni 16. Let's do Omni 16 first. Oops. I went the wrong way. Okay, I'm going to do Omni 16 first, and then I'm going to do Children's 9, and I think that's going to about wrap it up for us. We could spend all afternoon here and go through several bobbins and maybe even several spools of thread. Let me see how low my spool of thread. We're okay on the thread. I picked a bigger spool, which I think is 250 yards. But let me do the Omni number 16 first, and then we'll do the children's. I really, really wanted to do something from the children's group. We'll do the children's one next, number 9, and then we'll see how much time. We'll probably wrap it up there. Let me give Emma. Whoops. Let me give Emma another choice on this Omni stitch that we're going to do, number 16. Emma, do you want to see it on brown, or do you want to see it on burgundy? Brown or burgundy? Brown or burgundy, dear. Okay, and Jeanette's giving us a thumbs up on the. So between Jeanette and Emma, can you ladies tell me, do you want to see Omni 16? Okay, Emma's saying burgundy. Are you okay with burgundy, Jeanette? We'll do it on burgundy, number 16. I'm going to set it up right about there. Right about there. Okay, we'll do it on burgundy, number 16. Omni number 16. Okay, let's rock and roll with this. Let's rock and roll with this. This is going to be, again, if you've got one of these machines, what we're sewing is we're sewing under the category of K, like Kevin, under the category of K, which is the omnigram stitches. And we're sewing pattern number 16, which Jeanette from Sweden and Emma from Florida want to see. And we'll do it on the burgundy. I think it's kind of pretty. So let's give this a go, see what we think. All right, here we go. I'll allow this to duplicate twice. And then we'll stop it. I'll let it stitch this pattern twice, and then I'll hit the stop button. I hope I didn't hit the stop button too quick. I hope. Okay, I think I did okay. What I did is this button over here, if you can see it in the shot, when you're sewing, if you hit this stop button, it's going to finish sewing that pattern, and it'll end on that pattern instead of creating an ending point leading into the next pattern. So I'm going to hit stop again to tell it we're good to go. Go ahead, hit our presser foot up, and we'll take a look at this pattern. Pattern 16 under the Omni stitch. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. Holy mackerel. It gets better and better and better. It gets better and better and better and better and better. Unbelievable. Wait until you see this. Are you kidding me? What? What? I know it's Swedish technology, which I think is the best in the world. I'm just going to say it. I think Swedish technology is the best in the world. But how can it get better each time? Better and better and better. Unbelievable. Uncrazy believable. Look at this. I can't even believe it. Unbelievable. These are the Omni programs that our friend from Sweden, Jeannine, taught us about. I didn't even go into this realm when I got done with this machine. Didn't even go there. Didn't even go into this realm. And we probably would have missed it apart from Jeannine from Sweden telling us about it. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Like, yeah. Why don't we? Why don't we check it out? Unbelievable. So are the Omni multi-directional blah, blah, blahs, are they super cool? Yeah, they are. They're super crazy cool. What about our lock stitch? Crazy cool too. Crazy, crazy cool. Isn't it great to have a big family? I'm just going to say it again. Isn't it great to have a big family? Different people, different experiences, different levels of intimacy with these machines, different countries. And because of our diversity, look at what we discovered that I would have totally missed in this live stream. I would have missed it. I would not have covered this at all. But thankfully, because of Jeannine, we persevered. We were trying to figure out what category. Finally, we zeroed in on it, and look at the greatness that this machine from Sweden is able to show us. The greatness from Sweden. Wow. Holy mackerel. Unbelievable. Let's play some more. Let's play more. We're not done playing yet. We're not playing yet. We're going to play more. Hey, Candido, how you doing? Candido from New York. New York. Yeah. We got a bunch of New Yorkers here. I love it. I love it. All right. We were going to do a children's stitch. Was it number 9? Was it 9? I lost track. I have no idea. Let me scroll up. That was Omni number 16. Yeah, children's number 9. Now we're going to do children's stitch number 9. Children's stitch number 9. Gumdrops. Where am I? I don't remember what category children's is. Nope, that's applique. There it is. All right. So now we're going to do children's stitch number 9 for Emma. Children's stitch number 9. Emma, do you want to see it on brown or do you want to see it on burgundy? Children's stitch number 9 on brown or burgundy? Those are awesome. I agree. It's crazy. Look at this one. Candido, look at this one we did before. That one right there. Look at all these. Unbelievable. Swedish technology. All you other sewing machine makers, all you sewing machine makers out there right now, if you're on this live stream, all I'm going to say is you should probably bow. You should bow or genuflect to the country of Sweden right now, because are they rocking it or what? Are they rocking it? Yeah, they are. All right, so Emma wants to see the children's stitch. Yeah, these are the ones we just did. Are you kidding me? What? What? All right, let's do the children's stitch now on brown. I have no idea how much room I'm going to need. We'll see. We'll find out. Are we out of bobbin thread? Not yet. We're not out of bobbin thread yet. We're getting close. All right, presser foot is down. Let's see what happens. Children's stitch number 9. It looks like candy. I love candy. Does anyone else love candy? I love candy. Hold on a second. It's either candy or it's bubble gum, and it's time for bubble gum right about now. All of you that are in the live stream, just reach in there and grab the color you want. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Reach in there and grab the color you want. I'm going to grab the color that I want. I'm going to go with a pink one or a red one. Wait, that's the red one right there. If I want a yellow one, I'm going to go with a yellow one too. And what else? A blue one. Blue. I'm going to go blue. I don't know what color. I don't know what color you picked, but those are the colors that I just picked, because we're going to be sewing something from the children's category now, which is category G on this designer one, and it's pattern number 9. All right, let's check it out. All right, here we go. Oh, this gum is so good. Look at it. This gum is so good. Oh, I needed this gum really bad. I think I had this upside down. Pretty sure I did this upside down. I might grab more gum. Oh boy, this is good. This is my lunch. All right, stop right there. Oh, that's a fun one, Emma. I love it. Yeah. We could make this about a 12-hour live stream. Honest to God. We would be getting calls from YouTube saying, "What in the heck are you people doing for that long? What are you doing for that long?" They're probably saying already, "What are you guys doing all that time?" But you know what? When you're having fun, you lose track of time, right? When you're having fun, you lose track of time. All right, let's take a look at this one now. Oh, wow. I love it. This again is one of the children's stitches. They have different categories. They have heirloom, applique, omni, children's, you name it, they got it. This is the one we just did. I was saying that's candy. That might have been just an excuse to grab the bubble gum. Maybe that's not even candy. What do you think that is, Emma? What is that an image of? So I thought it was like a candy rolled up in a wrapper or something like that, but maybe it's not. Yeah, it is wrapped candy. Emma says it's wrapped candy too. Bill said it's wrapped candy. Yeah, it is. I didn't have any candy to grab, but I grabbed bubble gum. That's close. But the lock stitch, let's turn it around, look at the lock stitch. So generally, does this designer one do a brilliant job of managing tension balance for the top stitch and the lock stitch through some incredibly ornate stitches? I would say absolutely. And again, that's the strength of the Swedish technology. That's the strength of the Swedish engineering. Imagine the number of needle strokes it takes to generate a string pattern like this. Imagine. And it's maintaining tension that's just off the charts brilliantly. Unbelievable. Wow. All of these different patterns are just spectacular, aren't they? These over here, I think it's like that actually. There we go. What fun. What fun. Like I said, we could go all day doing this. I just have to keep putting more bobbins in. More bobbins. Yeah, let's do another children's stitch. You guys mind if we do one more children's stitch? Is that okay? We'll do one more children's stitch. But there's so many other categories that we missed. We had the crafting stitches. Remember those? Down here, we had the crafting stitches. Those are cool. What else do we have? Oh, you know, the other one I didn't show you. We didn't even look at it. We didn't even look at it. We even have fashion stitches. Fashion stitches. Look at the fashion stitches. Are you kidding me? What? Aren't those cool? Does somebody want to pick out a fashion stitch? Somebody can pick a fashion stitch if you want. We'll do that one real quick. Like I said, we haven't even touched. We're at the tip of the iceberg. We're at the tip of the iceberg with this designer one, and we've already run what 3 hours, 3 hours and 16 minutes, and we've only touched the very surface of this machine. We've only touched the very surface of it. Oh, Candido, I don't know when you joined. I don't think you were joined earlier, but you'll want to rewind and watch. I talked about Rachel's. Did I get that right? Rachel's note. And I read her text message. So anyway, you'll want to check that out. You'll want to check that out. I talked about the note that your wife sent. So you want to rewind and make sure you check that out and show it to her as well. Show it to her as well. Fashion stitches. Oh my gosh. We didn't even get into the monogramming. It does monogramming as well. Unbelievable. Wow. Wow. So I'm not seeing any other input right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to pick another kid's stitch, another children's stitch. A little while ago, Jeannette had typed some beautiful red hearts. She had typed some beautiful red hearts. And that is the solidarity, that is the love that we share with each other within our family and our appreciation of these great machines. So I'm going to sew some hearts, and I'm going to sew the hearts on burgundy on this one right here. And unless somebody gives me other input, I'm going to wrap up this live stream after that. So we're going to do some hearts now over on this line, I think. Sew some hearts right over here. Oh, wait, 24. 24. I assume that's 24 under children's. Let me do the hearts first, and then I'll do yours, Jeannette, right after that, okay? And the heart one under the children's patterns is going to be number 15. So we're going to do number 15, and then we'll do the last stitch for Jeannette, number 24. 15 and 24, okay? 15 and 24. All right, let's do the heart first. I got so excited, I almost forgot I was running out of material there. Almost went off the page. Almost. So these are the hearts that I wanted to sew to reflect the love that we share within the Cow Country family with people around the world. The love that we share about vintage sewing machines, the love that we share about machines like this that are not considered vintage, but they are nonetheless amazing stitches generated by an original Swedish made machine. So these are our hearts. This is the love that we share together because of our shared love of these great sewing machines. I better do it like that so the camera knows where we're focusing. There we go. And the lock stitch. All right, now we're going to do the stitch, the last stitch that Jeannette wanted to see. Let me just double check the number again. Number 24. Number 24. All right, this is going to be number 24. It's going to be our final stitch unless someone says, hey, what about? 24. I have no idea what this next one is. Maybe Jeannette can tell us. It looks like a bunch of oranges connected together, but I don't know. Okay, let me put it next to this one. Here's our final stitch on this incredible Swedish made Husqvarna Viking Designer 1. Amazing machine out of the great country of Sweden. And amazing. Oh, that is cool. Beautiful what Candido just wrote. That's family, isn't it? Family, 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 family. Unbelievable. All right, final stitch pattern. Here we go. And this again is for our friend Jeanette from the great country of Sweden, where this machine was made. Let's check it out. All right, here we go. I just hit the stop button. It's so much fun. The power of the stop button. Yeah. Oh, this is a really cool one too. I said it looked like oranges connected, but it doesn't look like oranges anymore. Maybe I was thinking about Florida. Maybe I was thinking about Florida. I'm gonna have to get more of this burgundy material. I really like the way the white thread shows up on it, don't you? All right. So our final stitch pattern, unless somebody else goes, hey, what about? Unbelievable. I'll show you some of the other stitching we did as well in this live stream. Look at we have all this playground left. See that? We have all this playground left. We could sew and 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 sew. But again, we're never going to be able to play as much as that owner. That owner has time to play on a machine like this all the time. Again, that huge basting stitch or straight stitch, 7 millimeters, 3 stitches per inch, 3 stitches per inch. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. That is literally the biggest straight stitch that I ever remember seeing. Straight stitch or basting stitch. One more to show you. One more to show you. I think this was Emma's stitch, the candy stitch, wasn't it? Yeah, the candy stitch. It's a lock stitch. Well, it's been such a privilege to present this machine to you. Like I say, I meet people from around the world, as do all of you in these live streams. We meet new friends that share our love and appreciation for sewing machines, some of them vintage, some of them not vintage. But the common ground is a love and appreciation for the engineering and the wonder. First time you see me during the live stream, it was me. It really was me. See? Yeah, there I am. So, yeah, I mean, we share that common ground, don't we? We share that love and appreciation, but we also, beyond the machines, we share a love and appreciation for people as well. We share a love and appreciation and a respect for people, uh, in spite of all of our differences. We come together under one banner, the Cow Country banner, and we celebrate. We celebrate together the wonder of these machines and what they can do and what they can create and what we can create through them. And that really is the wonder of what this classroom setting of ours does. And I couldn't do it without all of you. I couldn't do it without the leadership team, their dedication, their loyalty, their friendship, their passion for what we do, so that we can come together and celebrate a machine that does not fit in the vintage space. And yet it fits, doesn't it? It fits perfectly when you look at what we were able to create and generate through this live stream. So I want to thank everybody, especially those of you that were hoping that we would do this yesterday, but I wasn't able to, upside down. I wasn't able to do it yesterday because the computer that we've relied on for this entire live stream would not even boot up. And now it's served us faithfully for almost 3.5 hours. Almost 3.5 hours. And any of you that are new to this live stream, to this Cow Country family, I know I speak on behalf of the leaders. We are so honored and so happy to have you here today, and hope that you'll come back again so we can celebrate other great machines like this. And coincidentally, this Saturday, I will be presenting more Swedish beauties, but they're going to be different than this, and they're going to be different than the green machines that you've seen in the past. Going to be very, very different. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I'll put on some music. I'll start my timer, and we'll wrap this up. Okay. Thanks again to everyone that was here today, and thank you to the leaders as well for making everyone feel welcome, taking care of the family, and doing what you do so well in support of our mission to carry these great machines out and to show the greatness of what they can do. And I think we witnessed the greatness of this Designer One today, and especially received even more insight into the greatness because of Jeannette from Sweden that joined us today to kind of steer us a little bit towards those omnimotion stitches. Yeah, aren't those cool? Those are like crazy cool. Crazy cool stitches. All right, take care, everybody. Get ready for some polka music. Made in Sweden, baby. Made in Sweden. Yes, sir. All right, I'm not going to do the timer. I'm just going to stop the music and say thanks again to everybody. Hopefully you can join us on Saturday morning, same time, 9:30 Central Time, USA, and we'll be checking out some other Swedish beauties. You'll have a great rest of your day. God bless you. And thanks again to all the new folks that joined us, especially our new friend Jeanette from Sweden. Great to have you here. And to all the others that are in the shadows that eventually will step out so they can join the conversation on great machines like this one. You take care, and we'll be ending the live stream right now. God bless. See ya.